Comrades, today is May 18, 2026, and the current time is 1923. The Institute will be hosting its first annual Institute Drift competition this Wednesday. Comrades are encouraged to bring or modify any of the Institute's vehicles that are not marked as mission critical to participate in this event. The prize is yet to be determined. That concludes today's announcements.
この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。
Hello, gamers. There's a reason why I, as an individual, have a very strong dislike for Azure Lane. And it's because the skins are completely absurd. Also, I have my fan on in the background, so please let me know if you can hear it. You hopefully should not be able to hear it. It's supposed to be kind of quiet. But if you do hear it, let me know. Let me also put the game on screen. Why are we throwing things at billions? I haven't done anything yet. I just started stream. Why are we throwing things at me? I haven't done anything to deserve this abuse. Oh, shoot. Which one am I using? I think it's a use... Oh, shoot. Hold on. I need to check which seed I'm supposed to use for this. I think it's this one. I kind of messed up last time, so I have to like kind of figure out which of these is the correct capture. Ah, there we go. Look at me. The skins are what? They're absurd. I hate the skins in... Okay, so here's the thing. For context, what I'm talking about is... there's a skin that came out for Azure Lane about... Or at least they announced it a few days ago. And it's so absurd that it looped around from being just super horny to be really funny, and I couldn't stop like when I saw it I started laughing, and then I saw someone going like, oh my god, she can 6'7" with her titties while in free fall. I couldn't stop laughing because of how stupid it was. It's called Mogador Diving for Desire, and I saw that skin, and then if you see the video you'll understand what I'm talking about. It's so stupid. I don't want to show it on stream because I'm like, I don't know if YouTube's gonna ban me or hit me with a with something for it, but I just couldn't stop laughing because it's just so completely out of left field and how nonsensical it was. I was like, oh my god, she really is 6'7" with her testicles. Like, so dumb. I'm sorry for laughing. All of you are looking at it. All of you are looking it up right now. I'm so sorry. Oh my god. It's so stupid. I hate that it exists, and I was like, you know what? I know that it's like their primary source of income. I'm just like, come on. There's gotta be something better that they can do. Oh, it's just so funny. It's just so out of left field. I think the funniest thing too was I was talking to a friend about character design and like flavor of the month stuff, and for whatever reason I guess Azure Lane came up, and I was like, man, I really hate Azure Lane's character designs in general and all that stuff. And then literally a couple hours later it showed up on my Twitter feed, and I was like, oh my god, we're so cooked. This is what society wants. Oh, it's so dumb. I just couldn't stop. Also, I may have adjusted a little bit of my microphone settings, so please let me know if it's too loud or too quiet. Also, let me know if you can hear, like I said, let me know if you can hear the fan. It's been really warm in my area that I can barely like survive, and so I've had to like crank the fan up. It's on its lowest setting, but hopefully it'll be fine. At what point do they just start going? I mean, I think their whole shtick is that they're trying to avoid being considered, you know, R18 material, so they've been trying to avoid it as much as possible. So that's kind of what it is. Yeah, it's been really hot like the past couple days, and it's really uncomfortable. It kind of sucks. Anyways, how are all of you doing? Before I continue rambling on about this nonsense, how are you doing, Infidave, Immortal, Zeoposer, Goldenrod? Congrats on the 45 watch streak. Also, thanks Zeoposer for the resub. I appreciate it very much. Also, hello Umi, and I know Ray's hanging around too, and 14 Peasants on YouTube is there, and Xanth. I think that's everyone who's said anything so far. I think, hopefully, probably. Apparently the phrase Korean incels is something that they don't really like, which is kind of funny. I thought that was kind of amusing. Anyways, how are all of you doing? Welcome to Rimworld. I think we're going to try to do today as the finale for this colony just so we can be done with it. I think we've kind of done all we can, and the game's starting to run at like a snail's pace and all that jazz. So hopefully we'll just be done with it and we can move on to other better adventures and stuff like that. So our goal is to finalize the Steam part of the arc, so we're going to try to go install the pressure surge protectors. And I think there's one more upgrade we got to do, and then we should be fine. And then I think that point will be completed with our reactor, and we can say that the colony has in fact survived. We've done a pretty good job of applying basically every bit of defense that we could conceive of, and I think this has been a pretty good run for the most part. We're going to add a few more turrets to just add a little bit of extra safety in various aspects, but that's perfectly fine. You forgot while sharing existing Greg Tech. What does that mean in Greg Tech New Horizons? A game called Eternal Return is sort of mobile drag me into playing every now and again. Oh, I see. That's the game that's been ruined. How bad was it ruined? Was it like super bad? What do you mean Korean incels? Like, are they mad about like a skin or something? That's why people are like mad, or what's going on? I don't keep up with too many other games, like, right, like I basically, like, I used to be like in tune with every game that comes out. Now I'm kind of in tune with like 2 or 3 games at a time, and that's kind of how I am, just because there's no time to play a bajillion other games, if that makes sense. Also, we have all these new guys. I think Kim and Doom, we don't really need them in our colony. I don't think anyone's in the queue, right? Nope. Okay, so we're gonna send these 2 off to the void, to a farm upstate. I'm sure they'll be fine. Yeah, I'm sure they'll be okay. So we're gonna go world map. We're just gonna go figure out where we are and just kind of drop them off, because I just don't want them in the colony, because they're just gonna make the game slow down a little bit. So we'll just go here. Form. We'll send in Kim and Doom. They take nothing with them. They should be fine. Okay, so let's change route. Oh, is that the crony thing? Okay, so I do actually remember reading about this. Yeah, all right, I do know about this. Yeah. Okay, I know exactly what you're referring to. Yeah, because it's the crony Dotto Vu thing. Yeah, I saw that and I was like, people are getting mad about the dumbest things. It's getting a little silly, but you know, I guess, yeah, what are you gonna do? These 2 there, so now I don't have them, so now we have this thing that's making more stuff. Great. And then we're just gonna quickly go find the drop-off stuff. We can just have it drop off here. Okay. Yeah, I remember reading about that, and I was like, this seems like a very weird thing to get mad about, but yeah, Korea is definitely an interesting experience when it comes to culture and the incredible amount of, you know, like, misogyny, I guess, is the best way to describe it. It's very rough if you're, well, if you're into Korean media. You don't really fault the company for complying, TBH. What did they do exactly? So what did they do specifically? I remember it's like they were taking a clip out of context from a long time ago, and basically it sounded like, oh, she's saying the game is boring when she's making a very bad pun about boars, you know, like a pig, right? And that's kind of what I remember reading about what was going on, but I'm not 100% sure about the rest of the specifics, but at least that's my understanding generally of what happened. There we go, make more concrete. They canceled their VA contract? Jesus Christ, just for like a bad joke. If we all got in trouble for making bad jokes, I should have been like, I don't know, tried for war crimes for making bad jokes, okay? It's kind of crazy how much people get really mad about just this type of stuff. I do agree, it's a little silly. They made an apology when she made joke posts about it, the Korean general player, not the company. I mean, I'm not surprised that the player base, because they want, it's like, what's the whole thing, right? Because they want control. It's like, oh, you know, how dare you, like, you need to pay attention to us more. I'm not gonna get into it too much, but you know, there might be a reason why Korea's birth rate is staggeringly low among developed countries, you know. I'm not gonna get into it more than that, but if you understand what I mean, then you understand exactly what I'm implying. You know, usually there's a good reason for stuff like this. It's pretty much dead in the West anyway, so might as well appease your actual player base. I mean, I guess that's fair. I don't know. I remember I knew some people that played Eternal Return, like they were really into it, and I saw it and I was like, this could be kind of cool, but I don't know. It was just like not a game I ever really got interested in personally. Oh wait, I can put more here. I don't have that much more plasteel until I can get to the plasteel development tech, which I think we're in the middle of researching, right? Metal refining, here we go. Yeah, I'll try to get metal refining. I don't know, I saw the game and I was always just like, it looks okay, not really my type of thing, but hey, you know me and my weirdly specific game taste. You know what I've been playing a lot recently? I'll tell you what, I've been playing, I bought, what's it called? I bought the super special edition of Forza Horizon 6, and I've spent the past weekend playing it, and it is probably one of my favorite games to come out so far. It's a lot of fun, and that's why I put it on the maybe we'll stream it this week. It seems like there's a decent amount of people who are kind of interested in watching it, but also a decent amount of people that aren't terribly interested in watching Forza Horizon 6, so we'll kind of see what it looks like on Wednesday if we're going to stream it or not. Because I know racing games aren't everyone's type of thing, but I did used to stream, you know, car games, and Ray was around for that time period. She remembers the old times, the ancient era. All right, we ran out of soup. We should probably start making more soups again. Yeah, let's do that real quick. Let's also make some simple meals just to kind of make sure we have enough to subsist on. I think we have enough. Okay. But yeah, it is kind of a shame that that type of thing happens a lot to properties that we all enjoy, where it's just like, oh, a bunch of bad actors will just be like, well, we don't like what's happening, so we're gonna scream about it. One of my friends was telling me that Helldivers is kind of undergoing the same problem, where the most vocal of voices in the Helldiver community is basically what's directing a lot of the outrage and trying to get the developers to make certain changes. And apparently it's becoming a very annoying problem for people who just want to play the game, if that makes sense. I'm not 100% sure how you know, accurate that type of statement is, but at least that's my understanding as to what's going on. I don't know. Like I said, I like Helldivers. I have not played Helldivers in quite some time personally, primarily because I just can't be bothered to play Helldivers anymore, and there's a lot of other games that just eat up a lot of my time. Helldivers in the gutter. I think it's not so much in the gutter. So like, my understanding is that the developers have a vision for the game where it's going to be hard to play, right? And then there is and they're going to be like very loud, and then the specific community portion of the community is going to be very loud whenever, you know, something gets nerfed or something doesn't go the way that they think it should be operating. And then meanwhile, all the other people are just still playing the game, but unfortunately the people who are very unhappy with the changes are going to be the loudest and scream about it. And maybe some of their arguments might be, you know, might have merit. Like, I remember seeing something about how like mechas are kind of weak, but I'm like, Helldiver mechas aren't like supposed to be super tanks. They're supposed to just be giant heavy weapon mobile platforms that can take a little bit of a beating, but they're gonna explode still, you know. Especially because like these are people who are playing on like Helldive 10 and they think they should have like, they should be able to clear it consistently, even though, but they're like, oh, it's too hard. And I'm like, listen, maybe you're just not that good at the game, buddy. Also, how are you doing, Hayashi? Welcome. Yeah, bending to a vocal minority is gonna like just alienate the rest of your player base, and it's rough. I think also there's like something about monetization of the game where some of the new content was only available through the premium war bonds, and people were like, no, we should be getting this for free, you know, stuff like that, which, you know, also does have its own bit of merit as well. But I'm not one to, you know, make an opinion on that. I'm just saying what I think is happening at the very least. Are these not making 258? This can hold. What's one stack? 50s? This can be 150, right? We have enough steel that I can just make 150 forever. And just 150. Make these all 150. Yes, keep making me more components. Perfect. Problem here is a battle pass progression without paying. It's like League runes back then. Yeah, you can grind super credits, but it's kind of hard to grind it out. I think I remember, like, yeah, I think theoretically you could put like maybe you know, 40 hours, and that'd be enough to get you one premium war bond. But that is a lot of time, and you know, people are always going to be like, I want free stuff. They don't want to keep paying. Why am I paying more content, you know, paying more for my $40 game, even though, you know, it's a live service? That's the thing with live service games. Like, someone's got to keep paying to keep the lights on, and no one wants to be the one to pay that. They want other people to be paying it for them. I'm not gonna lie, when I play Helldivers, I'll be like, you know, I'll come back after playing Helldivers for a while. I'm like, you know what, I'll throw like $10. I want to get, you know, this war bond that looks kind of interesting, because that's basically the price of like a small meal, and I'll just be like, whatever, it's fine. But it is rough if you don't want to spend money. It is very, very rough. Don't play live service games first. I mean, it depends. Like, I mean, that's fair. Like, especially like if you're in a country where live service games just don't really make a lot of sense, it's very difficult to justify it as well. For me, I don't like playing live service games all the time, but I will play them if it really appeals to me. Mostly because it's like this. Oh, shoot, this should be underground, and I did not do this correctly. I destroy these 5. So this deconstruct that should be fine. Live service only works. It depends on the game. Like I play something like, you know, I play like Forza. I play Battlefield. I like some competitive. Oh shoot, I forgot to put a door here. Like, I like playing those types of games, but I also understand it's not everyone's cup of tea. So, anyways, yeah, it's kind of rough with Helldivers and all that. I have not touched Helldivers in months, quite frankly. I've been like, maybe I should play it again. Maybe it'll be fun, and then I don't, because that would require effort, and I would just play anything else. I think peak Helldivers, unironically, was when the game first came out. After that, it kind of started going downhill, mostly because the vibe of the game shifted. I think it was a lot more fun when everyone was just eating up the jank and being like, together we'll fight for Malevolon Creek, or all that stuff and all that jazz. But now it's just like, you look at the community and a lot of people are just like whining. It's like, why is this thing not the way I want it to work? And then they get mad and all that, and it's just like, it's not really worth dealing with half the time. Hello Havel, how are you doing, comrade? Good evening. Welcome to Rimworld. Oh yeah, we never got around to building the other stack of things here. We did get a lot of Dictanoria, which we can now make dyes with, thankfully, so I can actually dye these floors. Because otherwise it's super white and clear and kind of bland, and I would like to at least add some colors to the floor. For example, we might paint the kitchen. You know, we can't have we may not be able to get wood, but we might be able to get what color would you have the kitchen tile be? Like a nice brown. Oh, it's carpet. Paint the floor like a nice wood brown. We can pretend it's wood, even though it's not. Let's see how that works. Fine. Look for rectangular horizon service, and everything is in the EU or US. I mean, to be fair, you're also in the Philippines, where it's like, good luck. Yeah, it's like one of those like good luck type of things. It does kind of suck, because I remember looking up certain games, and some of the games I really enjoy playing, like, you just can't find servers for them unless it's like, if you're in Asia, unless you're willing to play in Japan or China, or even like Australia is like really janky too, because some games I like Battlefield 1, I remember looking up servers, and it's just like there's like a lot of Japanese and German servers that are active, not a lot of US servers, and then there's like that one lone Australian player who's like, I can't connect, I have to play in like Japan and stuff like that, because like, again, the population is so small, like, of people who are actively playing that type of game. Like, let's see, what's the population of Australia? The population of Australia is like less than 30 million. For comparison, I believe California's population is larger than Australia. California's population is over 40 million. I think California's population is greater than Canada, actually. Canada population. Oh yeah, California has more people than Canada alone. And like, I think half of all of Canada's located in the whole Ontario corridor that everyone's in, like between Windsor and Quebec City, which is kind of crazy to think about. But anyways, yeah, Helldivers is wild. I'm doing good, Havel. I'm drinking water, and I had a burger, and I feel really weird because that burger wasn't that good. I had to eat before stream, and I went to go get a burger. It was a very interesting burger. It was a patty melt style burger. For whatever reason, that thing was very salty, and I don't want to say it was inedible, but it was kind of teetering on the verge of being inedible. And it was, I still finished it because I'm like, I'm not gonna let this thing go to waste, but it was cheap, so I was like, all right, fine, whatever, I'll eat it. That's okay. That's just how it be. You gotta watch what you eat. Don't eat like me. Honestly, I need a soup. I haven't had like I've had some soup recently, but I need a heftier soup. I want some nice ramen. My friend told me about this ramen shop that I should go to, and I might meet with him for lunch on Friday and be like, yes, we're gonna get some noodles and it's gonna be great. This colony is still struggling with power, by the way. Our power barely lasts through the night, which is a bit of an issue. So I really need to find a way to get more power aside from just slapping down more solar generators. As you can see, this is an option. It is not the best option, but it is an option that works for us for now because I am desperate for any source of electricity to keep ourselves functioning. So you gotta do what you gotta do. I don't have any more hamster wheels to add. I don't want to add more hamster wheels. I will try to expand this a little bit further down as well. I think right now our biggest issue is we actually don't have enough concrete mix. Yeah, we surprisingly don't have enough concrete mix to make more concrete, which is what this entire area is trying to fill in. Because surprisingly enough, we have actually ran through nearly all of the chunks on the map. We had those other miners that were digging around all the time, but they don't actually, this one does not really produce chunks unless you're specifically looking for chunks, which is also really funny. So the problem is that there's a lot of materials here, but you know, these things fill up very quickly, and it's kind of an issue. And there's not really a spot to just dump it in. So we'll have to figure out how to do something with all this steel. Oh, the eternal struggle, I guess. It's okay. The colony, I think, looks pretty nice. And that's kind of like why we're ending it. We're kind of needing to just get this to about 9.2 days. We'll trigger this thing, then we'll skip the next one. Then we have to wait for another 15 days. And I think it'll be fully completed, and then we'll be done. And that'll conclude the story of the Frostpunk colony, which I don't think this colony ever got a proper name. And then I got a name called Chaldeus, which I think was actually a reference to another game that I used to play. Anyways, how well have you been in general? Hopefully you've all been having a good weekend. I went to an anime convention. It was exhausting, to say the least. I'm old, and walking around that much is kind of tiring when you walk around for like, I don't even know. I think I walk like 13,000 steps each day, and there was a lot of cool cosplay, and I was like, man, I kind of want to do some cosplay again one day, if I ever get around to doing it. But beyond that, it was just like, oh, here, I want to complain about something real quick, because I was complaining about this with another friend the other day. Artist Alley is so weird. I like going to Artist Alley because I like exploring and seeing what kind of things people come up with to sell as products. I like buying, you know, things from indie artists and supporting them and all that jazz. But it's kind of hard to want to support everyone when the only thing everyone ever makes nowadays is just whatever flavor of the month is. And I get it's gonna sell, and that's the reason they're doing it. But good lord, when I went into that convention hall, literally, I think 90% of everything was Uma or Hoyoverse. And maybe like 3 people were selling like Arknights, and then everything else was just like selling the generic, like, here's whatever the hot anime is. Like this one's selling some prince that has, you know, One Piece or Final Fantasy, or there was one booth that I saw was kind of fun, interesting, because they were like really dedicated to the character Yuna from Final Fantasy X, and like everything they did was just like, here's Yuna but in like different outfits from different properties. Like, here's Yuna in an outfit from Final Fantasy X, here's Yuna in an outfit from Final Fantasy 12, here's Yuna in, you know, an outfit from Final Fantasy 14. I'm like, okay, that's kind of neat actually. And, you know, some people are selling like their OCs and all that stuff. And it was actually really cool to look at. But I was like, man, everything that, because I don't look for art prints. I mostly look for like acrylics or pins and stuff like that. And that's kind of like the type of thing that I'm really interested in purchasing. But man, everything is just, it's just all Uma and miHoYo. And I'm like, that's cool if you like it. But I'm like, I would like to see other things at some point, please. But alas, no. That's the thing that everyone's into. How are you doing, Kefir? Thanks for swinging by. Yeah, I don't know if it's just weird for me to complain about it, but that's like my biggest complaint about a lot of anime conventions, where it's just like whatever the hot flavor of the month is, and it's almost always gonna be miHoYo something, and it's just like, all right, fine. Oh, that actually looks kind of nice. I think kitchen should probably have a nice white floor. I think the toilet should probably have a nice blue tone. So why don't we paint this blue? Let's do, I kind of like this color. I don't know. Should be like a pastel blue toilets. Sure. That sounds fun. Let's do that for all the toilets. Yeah, let's give them all a nice, oh no, some of these actually have nice colors actually. That's fine. It's mostly OCs. That doesn't sound that bad. I'd rather see OCs than just more Uma Musume content, but I also am not the person who'd also buy OC content. Last time you went to Comic-Con, there's no character from a series older than 2024. I mean, I'm not even terribly surprised. Because it's all just like... Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, I don't think I saw like any... I think I saw like maybe 2 or 3 people selling Madoka stuff, and maybe... like, it's just all Uma Musume. Like, oh my gosh, I took some photos at the Uma Musume cosplay meetup, and I have no idea what's going on. I don't understand the meme behind putting Mambo on a cross, but I saw that and I was like, this is a thing that I guess exists for some reason. Yeah, like I said, it's just whatever people like. And you know, I get it for artists too. They have to sell enough to make their money back, like their travel, and maybe earn a little bit of a tidy profit and all that. So I get it. I understand why, you know, this is the product that they're selling. But it would be nice if they sold like a little bit of other stuff. I didn't see a single Blue Archive anything at the Artist Alley. Last year I saw only 1 person selling. This year I saw 0, and I was incredibly disappointed. I was like, really? No one? Not a single person? Also, I don't know what it is with anime conventions, but things have just changed. It's like, I remember a long time ago, back in the day when anime was a little more, at least, you know, a little more less mainstream. Things like hentai and R18 content, it used to be behind like, you know, blackout curtain dividers and like technically basically its own secluded room within the vendor hall, right? That's how it used to be. But for whatever reason, the trend nowadays is it's just out in the open. Like literally, I walked into the vendor hall, I turn a corner, and it's just like, here's the Sekai Project booth. This is basically just porn. And I walked down like to the next booth, and I was like, this is just literal R18 doujins, just barely censored, and it's got like maybe some duct tape, like black duct tape over actual explicit body parts. And then they were just like, yeah, you just show us your ID and you can take a look at the books. And I was just like, oh, okay, I guess. No, if anything, I think the lewd stuff has just gone up way more and more, and it's kind of disappointing. And I was like, especially because there's a lot of kids at these events. Like these events are not just adults. Like there is a lot of there's a lot of children at these events, especially on a Saturday. Like I actually thought it was kind of cute. I was going around, I saw some. There was surprisingly like 3 different couples that were dressed as Lloyd and Yor from Spy X Family, and then they would have like their kid with them who's like maybe a toddler or something, and they were dressed as Anya, and I was like, oh, that's adorable. I'm like, that's really cute. I would totally do the same thing if I had a kid. I'd be like, all right, and they were a girl, I'd be like, all right, dressing you up as Anya, we're going to the anime convention, let's go. I thought it was kind of cute. But yeah, anime conventions are just like, it's just way different, where lewdness is just more, I guess, well accepted into the general society, and it's okay, I guess, but it does disappoint me somewhat that we're just all okay with, I guess, this being out in the open. But maybe I'm the one that's in the wrong. Am I a prude? I don't know. You tell me. Do you think I'm a prude? I hope not. I think I'm just one of those people that are like, you know, back in my day, we used to have class and stuff like that. Now it's just everyone gets to just show off their stuff. And it's not even just like anime conventions too. I think the VTuber conventions are starting to do this thing too. One of the biggest, I think, issues that VTubers kind of have to fight off is like this preconception that VTubers are all just like really lewd degenerates, and if you watch VTubers, you're nothing more than like a horn dog type of person. Oh no, it's a big con. It used to be like the third largest con, although I think that one's in the States, but I think that's been taken over by MomoCon in Georgia. It's Anime Central in Illinois. It's a big con. There was a Calafina con, not Calafina, there was a Yuki Kajiura concert with Fiction Junction, and I got in to a really good seat when I went to go watch that concert in person. They also had Idolmaster at the convention. I don't really pay attention to Idolmaster, but some of my friends went to the Idolmaster concert. It was crazy. Like they had the VAs, like I'm trying to remember their names. Like the VA for Miki, Chihaya, Takane, Rin, Uzuki, and Miho, all there, and they did like a live concert. I didn't go to the live concert because I think it sold out. Like the line was super long, and I was exhausted, and I had to go home, so I got to miss it. I couldn't get to watch it, but I remember like seeing it was crazy how dedicated people were, and I know like the VIP stuff sold out super early and everything. Like they had to do like a lottery, and it was like $150 if you won the lottery to get like your meet and greet ticket. So it was crazy. Oh no, they had 3 of the guests. Okay, I thought they had oh no, they did have all 6 of them. Yeah, Cinderella, Idolmaster, and then Idolmaster, Cinderella Girls. Yeah, they had 6 of them. It was crazy. I think it's one of those things where it's like back in your day, Idolmaster just the cute anime girls they put on Ace Combat Planes. Didn't Idolmaster also have like a mecha game? I swear they had a mecha game at some point. At the very least, I can say Idolmaster's not a gacha game for the most part, mostly because it started as an actual game and then evolved into a gacha game, but at least it's from its initial conception, it was an actual title. I'm gonna paint these floors too. I want to make this nice and clean. I don't have enough Dictanoria for this. That's unfortunate. Oh, we don't have enough power anymore, huh? I don't run the power cables. I still need to figure out the power problem. I'm trying to hidden conduit like here. Should be fine. I'll run this down here. You know, Idolmaster is super popular in the West, and my understanding is there was a lot of people who also flew from Japan to go attend this concert because, you know, the dedicated Idolmaster fans, you know, they're dedicated. They will do whatever it takes to go see their Oshi performing live in person, and that's my understanding is what was going on. But it was interesting. I watched the Fiction Junction concert with Yuki Kajiura, who is one of my favorite, you know, composers. I did not recognize any of the songs that they were doing because I think a lot of my Yuki Kajiura knowledge comes from back when she was doing working with Calafina and not with Fiction Junction, which is her current project. It was a very weird concert. It was very, I'm sorry, I don't want to say it's weird, but it was interesting because it was like the concert is called 60 songs, and apparently it's called 60 songs because the set list for the whole tour that she did was 60 songs. She didn't actually do 60 songs at all at once, you know, every show, but she would pick and choose from the 60 songs, and it was called 60 songs because she turned 60. And so I'm like, all right, you know what? Good on you. Every time I talk about Idolmaster is dead, there's always that one guy in others who says it's not. It depends. I think Idolmaster's definitely got some popularities to it still, and it's crazy. Yes, this is the finale for the Rimworld run. At this point, it's just waiting for this thing to be ready, which is in 7 6-point days, we're gonna upgrade this, which will allow us to upgrade the boost and hopefully get more power out of this. But this colony just eats up so much power, and it would probably be smarter to add more wind turbines, but kind of hard to justify adding more wind turbines at this point in the game, so I just kind of slapped a giant array of solar generators. I could also throw in more industrial chem fuel generators, which at least can work as we're pulling poop out of the septic tank and turning it into beautiful fuel, so it's not the worst idea. It only provides 2400 watts of power, so it's not ideal, but at least it gets us a little bit of extra power. And we basically have infinite components. We have infinite steel. Like, we will never run out of material at this point. That's kind of going for this. Yes, but this run, this is the finale, and then we'll start a new run next week. I haven't decided what the theme is going to be. I have to think about that still. Because the thing is, the colony is fairly self-sufficient at this point. I don't really have to do much. It just operates itself. And that's kind of why I'm like, yeah, I think it's about time we move on. Can you have steel? We have lots of steel. Look at all this beautiful infinite steel miner that we have. We can also order it to find other stuff. Did we finish researching how to make plasteel? We did. Okay, hold on. Let me see. I think we learned how to make plasteel. I just need to figure out how to actually set it up. Plasteel is kind of like our big gap. Okay, so you need an advanced furnace. Okay, I guess we'll just try to build this and see what happens. Okay, so I'm gonna plop this down here. Actually, let's put it down here. And then we need one AI chip and an advanced machine frame, which we should be able to build. An advanced machine frame and a basic AI chip. This one requires... we should have enough plasteel for this. I think 300 plus 200. I think that's enough. Yeah, we should be fine. We should be Gucci. At least that's the hope. Because we need this thing in order to build more plasteel. Otherwise, we're going to have to dismantle some stuff to make more plasteel. Also, we're hoping Ranu will finally age up at the end of this today, because Ranu's been waiting for a very, very long time to become an adult and joining the ranks of the working populace. So we're going to hope that that can be accomplished. Yeah, maybe one day. We'll see. What was I talking about before all this? Yeah, Idolmaster. So anyways, it was really cool, though, to at least see Kajira, Yuki, and Fiction Junction in person with a really good seat. I got to see them live. The only annoying thing was the people in front of me were a little taller, so I'm like, you know, straining my neck to go see, you know, around their heads or above them, or, you know, what I'm talking about. So that was the only annoying thing. But it was a grand old time, and I was like the only concert I saw. Other than that, I just walked around, took a lot of photos, which I haven't even sorted through yet. I still got to sort through all the photos that I took, and a lot of people cosplaying. I played a lot of my favorite rhythm games. Like Chunism is one of my favorite rhythm games, and it's great to be able to play it again. And I can't wait to play it again once I'm in a place where I can play it. So it's a good time. I think everyone should go to an anime convention at least once, just so they can experience the weebiness, you know, in person, live, and, you know, it sounds bad, but it is actually a very enjoyable experience. Just give it a shot, you know. You might find that you enjoy it way more than you realize. Oh my gosh, I forgot I was growing hops. I forgot we were gonna make like a beer thing. I don't know where I'm gonna put a beer production facility anymore. Because that's what the hops were for. All right, well, let's wait for the advanced furnace to be made, and then we'll figure out how we're gonna do this. Oh yeah, look at that, our power's draining. Yeah, I think we're gonna crank this up to 200%. That might at least give us a little bit of extra power to maybe maintain everything, but we'll have to see. We're definitely best enjoy with friends. Exactly. I do think it's got to be done with friends. If it's a 5-hour drive, you'd have to just stay at a hotel. Unironically, it's not worth driving back and forth 5 hours to go to a con. I think for me, like if a con is like at like over an hour away, I'll just get a hotel, because that's a lot of time you're spending getting to and from and all that, and I'd rather just be spending that time at the convention itself. Does that make sense? That's kind of how I feel about it. Maybe I'm the crazy one. That's the commute. That's right, because you don't live near a city. You live in like far awayville. All right, here we go. Wait, does this not make... Hold on. Wait a second. Hold on. How do I what? Wait, what happened? What happened to my what happened to my lines? I'll rebuild it all. There used to be lines between... Oh, did the mod break? Oh my god, I bet... Okay, hold on. Oh, don't do that. Oh, okay, there's the lines. Okay, so what happened to metal refining? Oh, I need a metal refinery. This is not the metal. This is the advanced furnace, the wrong building. Ah, shoot. Wait, where's the right one? Oh, I need this one. An advanced AI core. Okay, so we're gonna dismantle this. And they'll see what I need for this one. That's fine. Oh, the bot broke. Sorry. Let me reconnect that. How are you doing, son? Reconnect. There we go. Perfect. Tower drive on a single street sounds awful. How would you survive that? Yeah, that sounds awful. I'm doing pretty good. I came from an anime convention last week, so I'm kind of just, you know, recovering from that adventure. So I need 2 robotic arms, an advanced machine frame. What did I make earlier? Okay, so we need a advanced AI core. Requires the basic chip, which we already have. We might not actually have enough plastic for this. We'll find out. And then I need 2 robot arms is the other thing, right? Let's see how this works, and then see if we can just kind of automate this. Okay, then we're gonna put a metal refiner here. I don't know what this actually consumes aside to make the items we need, but I guess we'll find out. God, the power is so bad. It's so bad. It's just like we just can't generate enough power. Maybe we do need more wind turbines. I just don't know how I'm gonna fit more of them. I guess I think what we have to do is unironically like carve this out and then just try to add it here. We're just gonna make this like really big. I don't have a choice. We need this now, so let's do that. Let's also strip the roof out of this. There we go, so that whatever we build is not gonna fall over. Yeah, the colony is perpetually like low on power, and that's kind of like our biggest issue right now. Like a lot of our food is spoiling and everything. A lot of our buildings just like all these hydroponics does consume a lot of electricity over time, and that's kind of what's eating up our grid. So my goal is I'm gonna slap down a few more of these wind turbines, not the other ones. We're just gonna build these ones because these are fine, and the large ones seem a little bugged for some reason, so I'd rather just build these so we can add those 2, and that'll at least add more power to the grid. Everything helps, right? Any amount helps us. So anyways, yeah, anime conventions, like I said, artist alleys I think are just way different. I don't mind the fact that it's different, but I just don't like the fact that I didn't find anything I wanted to buy. I think the only things that I actually ended up buying for myself at the convention were a t-shirt for the concert and a keychain and an art book from one of the book vendors, because I was legitimately surprised to find a Hidano Aria art book, like official art book, and I was like, you know what, I want this, and so I bought it. So now I have an official Hidano Aria official illustrated art book work, and I opened it up the other day and I was just like, okay, I need to make sure no one ever looks at this book. Because there's a lot of illustrations from the visual novels, and I'm like, you know what, I suddenly remember why this visual novel was like very questionable. You just finished this Cupid dying to Doom 4 times in World of Darkness. I assume you didn't tell him about any of the mechanics and just letting him figuring out on his own, right? In that case, then yeah, of course he's gonna explode, right? I still think Hidano Aria is a fantastic series. It's just kind of, it's a shame that it never got an official English translation for the books. I really wish it did, because I would have loved. There is a fan translation project, but it's still ongoing. It's like 40 volumes big. Yeah, oh no, it's still going. It's like 40 volumes long, and I think the novels were only translated halfway up to like mid-20s, and then I think the fan translation project's kind of stopped over there. I mean, I probably could just brush up on Japanese and like maybe read it myself, but I would struggle and it would take me forever to read through it, and that's kind of like the reason why too. So interesting thing to keep in mind, I guess. Come on, get some power going. Oh, the boilers aren't producing enough. Oh wait, it's because those are off. That's right. Hello, Bong Bong. How are you, comrade? All right, hopefully this gets us some power soon. Okay, is that grid connected now? Okay, so that's all connected, fine and dandy. Let's also make sure we have a backup connection here in case I have to do more building, just like that. So we'll build that power section there. This is all connected, I think. So hopefully with the 40,000 watts of electricity, we might be able to get something dumped in. Just done a Terraria run, done some Ultra Kill Cyber Grind. Oh, how... I'm not very good at Ultra Kill, honestly. You miss Bakatsuki. Is Bakatsuki still around? Are they still active? I used to read a lot on Bakatsuki. It's one of my favorite websites that I remember reading a lot of visual novels on there. Like a long time ago. But I think a lot of the projects just kind of stopped. Oh, good times. I think part of the thing too is a lot of visual novels and light novel, or a lot of light novels nowadays just have official translations anyways, that Bakatsuki's purpose is no longer really needed anymore, which is kind of a shame because I actually did like how Bakatsuki did write their stuff. And it's kind of, you know what one of my biggest anime boomer opinions is? I think the exclusion of honorifics from modern anime dialogue, like translated dialogue, is probably one of the greatest losses of our time. When characters no longer say Oni-chan, instead they write it as big brother or big bro, and they no longer add the sama or the chan or whatever to the, you know, the translated subtitles. I'm like, that's one of the biggest losses of our time when it comes to anime translation. And it's like, man, times were better back then. It's kind of the reason why, like, whenever I look for, you know, for files to add to my media server, I look for fan subs rather than the official subs. You got to wait 43 in the past, you'd be happy with it, but I need a personal best of set fits, and that's a pretty high number. I don't know what the highest number you can get on cyber whatever, but I know people are really into Ultra Kill. It's not even finished yet, right? JP novels are non-existent. Korean novels are machine translated. Oh, it's endless. Okay, got it. I'm not even surprised about like the machine translations. That's all it is nowadays. Machine translations for days. Do we not have enough plasteel? What do we not have to make this? Oh, I forgot to make the advanced machine frame. That's right. Okay, so we need to make an advanced machine frame. I don't think I have enough plasteel. Oh, we might. 25 plasteel. Add an advanced machine frame. Let's see. Let's just make sure we have everything dumped in here real quick. I'm just gonna have you deliver everything we have so that we can get all this plasteel before it gets consumed by something else. I want all that delivered. Okay, that should be fine. Yeah, we should be okay now. I think you can make it to 100 if you get that far. How are you doing, Marksman? Ultra Kill stories and okay, got it. I had no idea at all. Like I said, I don't really play Ultra Kill myself, but I know people who are really into it. Is the music really quiet? I feel like I can barely hear the music. Is my headset just quiet? Or is the fan just like breaking my ears? Well, whatever. Rimworld streams end up being a glorified just chatting stream anyways, so it's fine. Welcome to Professor just chatting while Rimworld plays in the background. Yeah, I guess the non-stop. We could have stopped the blizzard a long time ago. I probably could just drive over to the weather controller and blow it up, but it's also like kind of not that bad of a problem. Oh, shoot, there's a roof on top of this. Let's quickly strip the roof out. There we go. We probably could have been doing this fine a while ago. I've just been kind of lazy. Anyways, anime cons. I still think it's just really weird. Oh, right. Here's the other thing that I was talking about anime conventions earlier. You know that one? I was talking a little bit earlier about how anime conventions are very, you know, it's very weeb oriented and stuff, and VTubers kind of are also like, you know, very weeby as well. And one of my biggest gripes, I think, is okay, here's my personal thing. I don't care generally what people do as a content creator. You're free to do what you want. Why should my opinion matter? It generally doesn't. Okay, and I think everyone would agree about opinions and stuff like that. But there is kind of like this trend of like people looking at VTubers like, oh, you watch an anime person play video games? You must be a gooner or some kind of degenerate. And then it's kind of hard to break away sometimes from that trope when the space that you're in kind of is shared by people who specialize in that type of content, but generally it's kind of just kept underground and like in its own sequestered area. But boy gee howdy, so you know that one VTuber convention that happens everywhere, off-kai, right? So for whatever reason, they're sponsored by Fansly this year, and I was just like, I don't think this is helping anyone get over the VTuber allegations of being just like Cooner Core. And I was just like, all right, that's vaguely cursed. And then they were like showing off some of the other groups that were showing up to the convention. I'm like, okay, got it. This is the type of stuff people want. Who I'm not here to question it. Just do what y'all like. Okay, we gotta put some steelers. So we got the steel. We gotta get the chem fuel. So we're gonna move this chem fuel storage over. We'll put it over here is fine. Okay, so that way we'll have the chem fuel and the steel, everything we need to go make things, and this should be fine. Rimworld. No, we're not doing that. Hello, how are you doing? But anyways, yeah, it's very silly, and I was just like, man, VTubers. Imagine being a VTuber in 2026. You must be a degenerate, or you must be a masochist, or you might be a normal person. You never know. Depends on who you're watching. I know there's like some VTubers out there. I'm not gonna name names, but there's a VTuber out there who specifically has like a lewd account and a normal account, and if you mention the lewd account in their channel, they will ban you if you mention in the normal channel, which is so funny. I'm like, okay, that's definitely a way to go about things, where it's like you want to make sure like you really keep it separate, but you're using the same persona in both of them, but you're just pretending that it doesn't exist. Truly a strategy, I guess, that exists. How are you doing, Alex? Yeah, this is the type of stuff we talk about when we're stuck in the middle of the giant blizzard from hell. You know, we just talk about the most inane topics. If you mention the normal channel, no. If you mention the lewd channel in the normal channel, or you mention the lewd content in the normal channel, you'll get banned from the normal channel, the normal content. Yeah, it's so funny. I'm just like, okay, I guess that's fair, because I guess it's supposed to be one of those things that are like kind of on the down low, and you have to like actively search it out or something. So, you know, whatever people want to do, I'm not here to judge or question it. It's whatever you like, right? I think that's how most things should generally be anyways. I'm not here to, like I said, I'm not here to be like, you're not allowed to do this. Just do it if you want, whatever. Who cares? I should pull Ray into one of these streams one day. I don't know what you would do. I'd just be like, Ray, I need you to entertain them while I go do something else for like 5 minutes. To be fair, like this colony's been going on for about 9. I think this is the 10th episode of this run, so we're approaching the end. I also forgot to put finale in the stream title on Twitch. Let me do that real fast. Finale from FROSTRIM, PUNKWORLD. We just gotta let this run. Like I said, we're at the point where we just let the game run for a while and it'll be fine. Because there's like not much else. There's not a lot of threats remaining. I don't know why the I don't know why the bars keep breaking. That's super weird. Okay, let's do, I don't know, scientist cabinet seems fine. And we are not doing pulse munitions. We're just trying to do something a little low tech anyways. We don't need sewage treatment. That's fine. Washing machines, fine. We'll do that too. That should be okay. But yeah. Like I said, I still like anime cons. I've never been to Off-Kai or any VTuber specific or even any streamer specific conventions. One, mostly because they're in like places that I don't really want to travel to necessarily. Like, oh, you come to TwitchCon, it's in San Diego, but I don't want to go to San Diego. Or come to Off-Kai, which is in somewhere in California. Everything's in California. Every event that ever exists is just perpetually gonna be in California. Other states don't exist. Other places don't exist. It's all California. It's always California. Oh, this thing is full. All right, that's really funny. 6 generators and geothermal are not connected this whole time in your world. How did you manage to? Okay, to be fair, I've done that before. You gotta really pay attention to your power grid. I've definitely done that where I'm like, oh yeah, I kind of forgot to hook everything up. Isn't that tragic? I know that feeling. I know that feeling all too well. Don't worry, I've been there. I have absolutely been there. This thing's almost fully completed. Like, we're trying to dye everything bit by bit. We also have a lot of Nutriflower, which is fine, because then we can turn them into beautiful Nutramine, which turns into beautiful standard medicines. Look, we have a giant stockpile of medication ready to go at any given time. Okay, is this thing making infinite plasteel now? Yes. Okay, so this thing will turn 20 steel into 20 plasteel. So we have a near infinite source of plasteel, aside from the fact that you need chem fuel. But we have so much rice that we could probably just convert a lot of the rice to chem fuel if I'm like desperate. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we can do that if we're like super desperate. Next anime convention on the moon, don't know how to figure out. I mean, you could do a anime convention on the moon. I don't know who you're gonna find aside from the moon rabbits and the moon people, but hey, if that's the type of anime con you want to go to, more power to you. What's when something's blocking our stuff? What's blocking it? Is there a roof here? What roof? I thought I got rid of the roof. There we go. That should be fine now. Okay, I think the roof. Wait. Oh, because they keep building the roof back. Oh my goodness. No wonder. I'm like, what is happening? They keep rebuilding the stupid roof here. What the heck? There we go. Yeah, the lunar rabbits from Toho. Actually, okay. You want to know something really funny? Hold on. Let me show you a picture. You've been playing so much Horizon 6. Me too. I'm debating if I'm gonna stream Horizon 6 this week. Mostly because I've been playing so much of it. It's such a fun game. I'm loving it. Oh my god. It's like one of my favorite games to come out. It's also like a game that appeals very much to me with like the whole JDM car culture stuff. Anyways, let me show you something really funny. Let me find the image. So, one of my friends was at the anime convention as well, and I didn't get a chance to hang out with him too much. I said, you know, I got to say hi and all that, but they went viral on Twitter. This is not their tweet, but they are in this picture. Let me show you real quick. This image. It was so funny when I saw this. I'm like, oh god, hold on. Let me pull it up real quick. So my friend is in this picture. My friend is in the Reimu Kigurumi, the most legendary crossover. Hakure Reimu and Tong Tong, whatever it's called. And I was like, oh my god, this thing got like viral 23 likes and everything. It's so cursed. Oh, this is what the people want now. This is the true Toho crossover, I guess. I don't even think you can copyright this character. This character was like AI generated, but I don't know. It was actually really done. I'm convinced that Toho cosplayers are like the most dedicated individuals who make like the best costumes. And I saw so many people cosplaying Toho. I was like, man, that would be kind of cool. Yeah. So it was really funny when I saw this. I was like, oh my god, it's like the weirdest crossover. What's my favorite JDM car? God, I mean, the basic answer is I really like the Treno AE86, which is like the one I'm mostly driving around in right now. You know, the tofu car. But I'm also driving like I think it's a Mazda RX-7 is the other one I'm driving most of the time in Forza. Those are the ones that I'm really enjoying as my personal driving vehicles in that game. And I'm mostly doing a lot of drifting. But yeah, I thought it was hilarious. I was like, oh my god, this is... why does this exist? I don't have too many other pictures that I can share right now because it's all on my camera and I haven't sorted through the photos. But there was a lot of cool stuff. A lot of Uma. I saw the Final Fantasy cosplayers as well, which maybe I'll show them at a later point in the day. But if you like that stuff, it was there and it was really cool. I love looking at the outfits that people, you know, come up with and they're wearing and they're displaying and all that. I saw some Final Fantasy characters that people are really down bad for a lot of the times, and it's quite interesting. Is this almost built? Okay, this thing is making plasteel great, so what we can do now is we should probably make this other cabinet so we can at least expand our building capacity, or at least our production speed. Just slap one of these down here, slap one of these over here. Perfect. So that'll make these go a little faster. And then we can get that slammed out as well. Currently using the G80. How is the G86? Also, I just realized I'm out of mortar shells. We got to make more. Oh shoot, that's right. I remember why I have this. Okay, so we need to uninstall this, and then I would like to uninstall this. Because we were shredding the mechanoids, that's right. And then we got to start making more shells again, which will require FSX. I don't think we have any FSX because you can only make FSX out of chem fuel, so we may need to start making chem fuel out of organics at some point, but that's fine. That should be automated. It's the right-hand driver's seat. Yeah, I've been doing the right-hand driver's seat, and I've turned on the drift camera. It's way easier to drift in that game when you have all those settings on. Okay. Oh, we gotta start adding the... I forgot, we gotta start putting the vitals monitors, which I've been trying to get done for quite some time as well. So this thing is gonna slap itself right around here for now. Well, I can figure out what else I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna drink, don't worry. I have a nice mug of water that I've been slowly drinking. Anyways, yeah, I think it'd be cool to cosplay again. I'm just trying to think of, like, what characters I would cosplay. I used to think like maybe I'm too old to cosplay, but I'm like, no, as long with enough the power of makeup, you can make anything look young. Yeah, I also drive in first person. I do the cabin view with the wheel showing and everything. So don't worry, I'm basically in the same way. That's why I'm like, maybe I'll stream it. But like I said, if you want me to stream it, there's a poll that I didn't ping for people. I didn't ping people on Discord in the announcements channel. Feel free to make your opinion as a yay or nay or as a meh, and I will that'll help me decide what I'm gonna do on Wednesday. Start cosplaying old men. I mean, I could. Yeah, I gotta just pick. How many old men in anime have long black hair? That's the real question. Not that many. I think probably the closest thing I could do would be like Jin from Samurai Champloo, which was a very long time ago, and I don't know how many people would even know what Samurai Champloo is nowadays. That's why the building the costume. I've seen people do that. I've also seen like a lot of weird ones. People were like holding around like, you know, flork signs as quote-unquote cosplay. I saw so many Freerins and Himmels and Ferns, and I also saw like a million different whatever other characters are out there that are really popular. A metric ton of Uma. So much Uma, and they were all like, here's like 13 gold ships, here's like a couple whatever the other ones are. I think gold ship was the one I saw the most of. Anyways, hi Riston, how are you, comrade? I'm talking about my anime convention adventures. Yeah, this is way more stuff than way more power than we needed. Yay, Uma. Hey, look, if you like Uma, more power to you. I'm not terribly fond of Uma myself, but I also understand, hey, people like it. I'm not here to question it. Just sunk the Royal Oak. What do you mean? What did you do? Wait, what game are you playing? I guess is the better question. HP playing U-boat. Oh, okay. So you sunk the Royal Oak. British, I think, right? I think it's a British ship. Royal Navy, as they specifically say. You can't just call it a British. It's the Royal Navy, Her Majesty's ship. I don't even want anime conventions either, MLP or Halo. I think it depends, like the anime convention that you go to. It depends what you're gonna get. Nowadays, I think that type of thing. Oh, I saw a lot of Helldivers. That's the other thing. There were so many Helldivers. Good lord. Cosplay as Shion Yorigami and walk up to anyone cosplaying as Raymond, call them broke at Shrine as Shion Yorigami. Is a god of poverty. There were a lot of people who were crossplaying, which was kind of interesting too. I was like, you know what? I could probably do that. Given myself, you know, with the proper, you know, with proper slimming of my face, I could probably pull off a nice. And because Toho codes are also super bulky and everything, so it hides a lot of the frame. Anyways, only 66 torpedoes sink the big ship. How much did it take in real life to sink? I'm gonna do Deathcore Krieg someday. I've done in Rimworld this a lot. No one's stopping you. You just have to get the outfit right. Getting the outfit's always the hard part. Damn Helldivers. Oh, you missed the talk about Helldivers earlier. Helldivers is fine. I think it's just one of those games that, oh my god, I just realized it's -83 centigrade outside. God, it's so hot here. I wish it wasn't. Weird. I thought I heard something fall. I wish it could be that cold. It's like super hot here. I'm like cooking alive, so I have my fan on in the background, and I'm just hoping it's not too loud. I mean, I find Helldivers to be quite fun, but I also understand not everyone's like into Helldivers. Not everyone's into Helldivers anymore with the current whatever's been going on with it. You know what we should be doing? We should be growing beans. I forgot, since we don't have access to protein, I believe you can make tofu. And tofu does count as meat. Or maybe that's from a mod that I don't have anymore. Nigiri, fish. I could have sworn there's a way to press tofu from soybeans, so at the very least you could have meat. But I might be misremembering, and I don't think we do. I do need to make that beer thing that I said I was going to make, because we have so much hops here, and I want to move it somewhere else. I guess we could turn this room here into the beer hall production facility. Yeah, that's probably fine. Yeah, that's fine. We'll turn this into a nice beer hall type deal. We've been needing it anyways for quite some time. Might as well get around to making it. It can stay there. And then we'll even put a nice security door. Actually, do I have any nicer doors here? Double auto door. Perfect. But yeah, I mean, I still think Helldivers is fun if I'm willing to play it. But most of the time, I'm not willing to play Helldivers, quite frankly. If I have time to play Helldivers, I have time to play literally anything else that I would rather play. And that's kind of my general opinion on, well, on that. Does that make sense? I hope it does. I don't have a way to automate alcohol production, right? I don't think I do. Actually, fermenting tank. Automate tank for fermenting alcoholic beverages. Self-regulates the temperature to maintain the best. Okay, wait, hold on. Small and robotic. Okay, so I need a small arm and robotic arm. Okay, so I need small frame and one robotic arm. Let's see if this works out. Okay, we love fatty livers. I mean, hey, if it works, right? We could also make recon armor. Just kidding, we don't have double strand, so we're not doing it. Hi, Ranu. Don't worry, Ranu, you're gonna grow up today. You're gonna be a big adult 13-year-old, which means you'll get your first ever weapon, and you'll be able to fight with everyone else and die on the front lines with everyone else. Isn't that great? How are you doing, Ranu? I was mostly complaining about anime conventions earlier. I'll say it again, but anime conventions have changed. The fact that hentai is just out there in the open nowadays is quite something, and I am not terribly fond of it. It used to be like you have to go out of your way to look for it, and now it's just like, hey kiddo, would you like to see some anime titties? And I'm just like, why is this a thing that everyone just has access to? There are children here. Dark Souls 2 path tracing mod, what does that mean? What does it do? Let's also paint more floors. I think we have more dyes now. I'm glad we have more dyes so I can actually do this. We can make our colony look very pretty. Just like that. Oh, like ray tracing. Got it. It's like a ray tracing mod. Okay. But anyways, how are you doing? What was I talking about earlier? All right, we're trying to see if this beer thing will work. It supposedly self-regulates temperatures. Okay, so you still need to make wort. But this thing will just automatically work, right? I just said it's 50. I don't actually need that much of a room. If it's self-regulating, I don't need much else other than just putting this here, do forever. And then we just need to make a... What do you need to make alcohol? I cannot remember. Is it a drug lab? Or is it a kitchen? No, it's something else. What is it? I can't remember. It's a brewery? Okay, let me find the brewery. Thank you. I don't have an electric brewery, right? Nope. Okay, all I got is this one. Wait, it has to be made out of wood. That's dumb. I don't have any wood. Oh look, we made it out of the blue. magical. I tell you what. Okay, make wart, do this forever, and then this room is frozen, so I think we'll make this nice and concreted floor. Just like that, which should be fine. Okay. He's 47, that's not roll found itself, so 1 by 3, which only found one smart fire, another 3, which all hit, so 4 torpedoes, and then ship sunk. Okay, but you hit it with 6 to knock it out. Okay. That seems like a pretty good rate regardless. In the end, you sunk it, which is what really matters in the end. Perfect. Okay, so we got Alana making wart. Okay, so we need a... Okay, I see the problem here. Okay. Okay, hold on. I see. Hold on. Let's move this here. Okay, I got it. I know what we're gonna do. We're gonna move this here. And then I know we had a storage container that I had uninstalled. I'm gonna take this, we're gonna reinstall it here, and then we're gonna take this one and we're gonna install it here, and then that should be self-automating if I do this correctly, because this one will store wart goes in here. No, beer goes in here basically, and it's kind of like the lower priority. Once it's in there, it needs to get out. And then this one will be can you just move this real quick? Okay, your name's gonna do that, that's fine. And then this one was gonna hold all the hops, so this, or the wart, so this thing can automatically do it. And this thing's gonna need some light as well, so we'll make this storage wart critical, add some lights. Let's see, we'll do one, can this one, I can click it, and then we'll add another stack on the other side as well. One should be fine. Okay, wart. We need booze for everyone. Okay, so this thing's gonna look for 50 wart, which is a lot, but it'll produce a large quantity at a time. 2 warships sunk you in U-37. Okay, what is the game that you're playing called? Is it literally called U-boat? U-boat game. Simulator submarine warfare from World War II. Oh, there's literally a Steam Ocean Fest. You know what? I bet you this Ocean Fest is because of Subnautica 2. I've seen a lot of people going crazy about Subnautica 2. It's like, whoa, cool. I don't really care for Subnautica myself, but more power to those who enjoy it. It's just not the game for me. If they make a good old, you know, ocean-based tycoon or city builder, I'd gladly play it, but seldom do you find such a game. Okay, then we're gonna make a nice storage for all the hops. I think we can just make a nice simple open shelf like this. Yeah, that's probably fine. We'll just make a nice open shelf here. Make this one important for wart, and that should be fine. In fact, I could probably automate this if I really wanted to, which I guess I probably should. It's probably smarter to do it that way. That way we're not like moving all the hops in here. Oh, it's not gonna be hops, not wart. Sorry. There we go. That's better. We asked about Subnautica. You wish the ocean was deeper. How deep does it go? I thought the whole point was like, if you don't like it, like, isn't the whole thing like, oh, you could end up with thalassophobia because you're too deep in the spooky ocean where everything is dark and scary and you might get lost forever, something like that. Hi Normar, good evening. How are you doing, comrade? Normar of the Soul. Have you changed your name? Did you ever get your Discord account back? Because they're dead. Surely this world didn't have over 100 enters screwing it, which that would have ended their lives. Listen, in times of war, you gotta do what you gotta do. As cruel as it is to say, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? I think that's how I see it. Did this thing actually make the beer yet? Do forever. Or do we just not have enough hops for this? Who's actually assigned to brewing? Hold on. Kefir and Alana are the only ones that are assigned to brewing, but Kefir is also assigned to cooking. That's probably what he's doing anyways. Where is Kefir? What does colony needs? I just realized there's not enough bathrooms in this colony. We probably need more. Wait. Oh! I forgot. I got rid of the toilet here, and I forgot to rebuild it. I never rebuilt a toilet. There was a toilet here. It was like the little squatty wood thing, and I forgot to replace it with a smart toilet. They was waiting for release and resurrection. Ah, got you. Okay. You're also player to exit your sea moth, and a player is one of them. Fix your sea moth. Okay. I don't know what that means, but I'll pretend like I do. Those sea boys, though, unless I'm 18, do kind of leave a bad taste in the mouth. Yeah, that's fair too. Plus, also, like, I can't remember, in World War I period, was the British still employing the practice of press ganging, or was that a thing that they kind of stopped doing at that point? I'm not too familiar with, like, World War I naval history, personally. But it sounds like I would believe it if you told me that they were still doing press gangs. People who didn't want to be participating, being forced to participate in a conflict they had no desire to be a part of. Okay, it's not being a thing before World War I. Okay, I mean, that would probably make sense, right? You don't really want to have a navy populated by people who don't really want to be there. Yeah. Okay, are we allowed to do this yet? Okay, one more day. Well, 2 more days. Okay. Trying to speed. I'm just trying to keep it at max speed so we can actually complete this. Ranu, you're almost there. You just gotta survive probably like another 14 days and you'll be upgraded to an adult. And then you can finally, because yeah, I think Ranu started this colony as a baby, actually. Oh my god, yeah, I think Ranu did start this colony as a baby. That's kind of crazy to think about. Actually, while we're here, should we do a leadership speech? Why can't we do a leader speech? Other gatherings in progress. What other gathering? What are people gathering for? What's the other gathering? Is it bugged? Maybe it's bugged. We'll do the celebration. Why not? Let's just rip through this real quick. And that way we can maybe get people happier. What was I talking about earlier? But yeah. So we're maybe stopped impressment after the end of the Napoleonic Wars. Okay, so that would have been like, what would that be around? Like late, late 1800s, I think. Let me double check my knowledge. 1803. Okay, so it was way earlier. It was like early 1800s. Okay, got it. I'm way off. I'm way off. Actually, I wonder, is any of Napoleon's descendants still alive? You know what's really interesting? Like, I happen to be like Googling one time, and there is a decent community of people who are, I don't know if they're just LARPers or people who are really into the idea of a monarchy, but there's a decent chunk of people that are like, we have to bring back the monarchy. Oh shoot, Ray is really far away and needs to get back here. Also, we're under attack. We gotta go protect ourselves. Whoever's got a gun needs to get over here and get ready to fight. All right, let's see what we can do. Let's pull everyone back over here. We don't have a lot of power, but right? We have power. Wait, why do some of these don't have power? All right, let's hope we can survive. They're attacking immediately. Okay, let's see if we'll have Ray stand over here. It's too risky to move up there. And then let's push up Immortal, Garm, Ixonia, and Rachel. And then I'm also gonna just draft Alana as I need an emergency person to come up here and, you know, grab them if they fall in combat. Is it the smartest idea? Maybe not, but it's a functional idea. Garm, you're gonna stand over here. Okay, so far we gunned down a single Scyther. Those are termites. That is scary. The termite needs to die now. That has to be like priority number 1. The Scythers don't matter. It's the termites. Oh my gosh, there's also the pikeman in the back. Oh my god. Whoa! You should probably not be running up there if you don't want to die. Maybe don't do that. Okay, let's turn on safety mode for everyone, please. Get into safety zones. This is why I hate fighting termites, because you just know they're gonna destroy your turrets. Okay, have you temporarily hold fire. I'm gonna have Garm pivot this way. Now you can go back to firing. Oh, there goes another one. There goes Alana's bedroom. Exposed to the elements. Garm is being shot down. Pikmin are at least getting ripped apart, I think. Oh my gosh, Garm is getting deleted. Let's pull Garm out. Go on draft. Let's just have Garm rotate around to the bedroom area. Let's see, do we need to pivot anyone else forward? Replace. Oh, there goes the other turret. Ray's exposed. You get Ray back inside here. Kinda was afraid. Oh my gosh, Ray got shot in the head. Okay. Stand over here. Stay behind. So we're doing what we can. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you're doing okay, but a guy you're spending time with just had death family, so today was a good, but his friend was taking pretty bad. You could use some good vibes. You can give them right now. I'm always around to give good vibes, hopefully. I'm trying to, today I was mostly just talking about the joys of anime conventions and the shenanigans that ensure when you go to one of those nowadays. I don't know if you've been to an anime convention in recent times, but it's changed. There's a lot more porn. Just like out there. It's kind of silly to see. Okay, let's pivot you and you. Okay, we're gonna have you switch to slugs. I never built EMP rounds. I'm probably gonna regret that. You pivot over here. Have you stand over here. Are they moving in yet? What's left? Now there's 3 pikemen and a termite. They've already destroyed our fences. Let's pull these guys back. Well, we're gonna pull back into deeper in. The game's doing a really good job of just like smacking them down. But yeah, hopefully you're doing okay, Flaming. You're always welcome to just be here and just chill. You've never, yeah, that is a legitimate body pillow that you can purchase. I know some people have already purchased it because they want to support my existence, which is my beautiful, beautiful existence. Okay, shoot. I forgot to zone safety as allowed, so let's make sure this is permitted. Okay, Garm, you go into a bed. You need a tend over here. We'll get Ray into a bed as well, so we can get her tended to. Ray just got. Oh, Immortal's dying. I don't know if Immortal's gonna survive this. It depends if Havel can stabilize. Oh my gosh! As soon as. What do you mean? As soon as Havel got over there, Immortal immediately keeled over. Okay. I'm so sorry, Immortal. All right, it's tragic. All right, let's get everyone back out here. Rachel needs to get into recovery. Arm's got 8 hours. Okay, we got to tend to that real fast. This is getting, no, you get into bed. You tend over there. Let's make sure. Yeah, they're just destroying a lot of our bedrooms, which is super annoying. Oh, your name got completely smashed around. I don't know if we can get over there to rescue. Is the problem. Let's see. We might be able to navigate through the bathroom, considering it's broken down. So have we'll sneak around. We might be able to grab him real quick. Carry. Got 1 hour. Let's see. Pull you inside here. Okay, then drop. Okay, then you're gonna tend right there. Send you in. You are here, ready to go. I'm just kind of waiting for them to approach. They might be running out of bullets, surprisingly. Yeah, they actually don't have that many more bullets remaining. What's left? 2 pikemen, a termite, and a scyther. I need more RPGs, is what I need. Didn't lots of anime conventions have a lot of really sweaty fat millennials, some interest. I mean, it kind of depends on your interpretation of like what goes on in anime conventions. I think that's a very rough stereotype of what actually does happen in anime cons. It's not nearly that bad, I think. There's a lot of people that put in a lot of effort into their cosplays, for example, that are actually really beautiful to see and stuff like that. But yeah, there is a bit of that stereotype of like, oh, it's just sweaty nerds, but it's not. It's very different nowadays. Okay, see if we can bait that termite to show up. I'm gonna have Kefir poke around the side. Okay, so far so good, but we gotta rebuild all this in a bit. Who's that? Oh, I probably could have pulled out one of the tanks. I just realized. I don't know why I didn't do that. Why don't you board as a driver? You board as a gunner. See if we can get over there real fast. Since the termites are gonna take forever to move. Oh, they're coming in to fight Havel. All right. Havel's got to fight to defend your name from dying. Let's see if Havel can do it. Sword is struggling, but it's doing its job. Oh boy. Come on, Havel. I believe in you. Okay. Open this door up. All right. Get this going. Come on. I don't know if it's fast enough to get over there. We'll see. Okay. You need to fight here. These are all tended to, right? Perfect. Okay, good. Okay, we're trying to do what we can. The slugs are doing a pretty good job of knocking them down, but I know that pikeman's gonna do a bajillion damage in a second. You need to reload now. Tank moves super slow. I should have pulled this in earlier. Havel's still fighting. I don't know if he can defend your name long enough. I think your name's probably dead. One last fight before the mechanoids ruin our day. Putting that in there. Pull back. Pivot into this. Good. So this. Oh, okay. So that EMP did a really good job. Okay, fantastic. I'm gonna have Alana run over here real fast. See if we can have Alana save tend. Okay. Habel didn't take any damage, thankfully, but I don't know if you can still just tend here. Just focus, just hyper tend. The only focus is to keep alive. Okay, you pivot here. You switch to grenade. Fling a grenade at it. Good, and then you switch to your gun. See if you can blast it. Okay, is Habel fast? Oh, I think your name's probably dead. I don't think your name's gonna survive this. Yeah, Habel is kitted out with some pretty hefty armor. So, yeah, your name died, unfortunately. I was not able to save him in time. One last FU from the game before we died. All right, are we safe? I think they're all dead now. All right, let's unemergency and let's let everyone go back to doing their jobs. So we got a lot of things we gotta do, a lot of injuries to tend to, a lot of pain and suffering to recover from. Let's go pull back here. Wow, these turrets did not... The termites are scary. Like, they just can delete an entire frontal wall with very little recourse. It's kind of not fun to deal with. Oh, God. Shoot. I hate that I did that because now all the walls that I was going to rebuild are now have to be rebuilt again. I hate it when I have it on fill mode like that. Okay, hold on. Because now I have to rebuild this. I don't remember how it looks anymore. Something like this, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I think this goes up here, like that. It seems about right, I think. Yeah, that looks correct. Gotta rebuild this wall down here too. Let's do that. And then obviously here needs to be rebuilt. Okay, let's rebuild everything. It's gonna take a little hot minute, so just let everyone do that. And oh my god, another mechanoid! We just come. Oh my gosh, you've got to be kidding me! The game is like, so you thought you were having it easy? Would you like to suffer? You know what? Hold on, we still have the tank. Just send a tank in. Oh, just shoot whatever's there. Come on, just blow it up. We have like a lot of stuff here. I'm sure it'll be fine. I like suffering up to an extent. This is a little insane. Okay, that's one down. Just keep shooting whatever's there, I guess. Hopefully if we can knock out the centipede blaster, we'll be fine, I think. Yeah, so as long as the centipede blaster explodes, I think we'll be okay. Just focus fire specific targets. The tank is surprisingly accurate, so this thing just does delete most things. The Militors are scary, but not that big of a deal, I think. Fantastic. Now we gotta go knock out the next one. Okay. Now we gotta knock out the turret. Okay, why don't you stop moving? There we go. Okay. Would you like to hear more stories from the anime convention or not really? Otherwise, I don't really have too much else that was super exciting over the weekend. That was basically the highlight of the whole thing. I was exhausted after that because I was obviously, you know, walking around some 14,000 steps a day. And boy, I hate the prices of con food. I know you're not supposed to buy convention food, but sometimes the pricing is just like, all right, maybe. Like, you just get hungry and you're like, all right, fine. But that was a bit of a mistake because they were charging like $20 for a single sushi roll, which was insane. I actually ended up buying like a mac and cheese bowl, but even still, it was like $16. Yeah, convention food is hilariously expensive because that's how they make their money. I thank God it's one of those conventions where you're allowed to bring your own food in. I've been to some cons where they're just like, you're not allowed to bring any food. And like, oh shoot, you've got to be... All right, this thing's on fire. We gotta take care of that other thing real quick though, so let's just pull these guys around here. Pull around here, and then I'm just gonna have you fling a nice little EMP grenade. Maybe hide, and of course Kefir immediately gets beamed in the head, because of course he does. I'm gonna have Alana just rescue the poor guy. You should be able to shoot this thing to death. Come on. Come on. And then we'll have some people rescue Zojirushi from the fire. I think it's about to explode. Oh, I think the Zojirushi's dead. Oh boy. That should be the last explosion. Okay, so I think it's still alive. I think we might be okay. That's fine. You destroy this thing. I don't know. Just smash it somehow. Break it down with your fists. Okay, you can go back. I'll have Havel come over here with a sword or something. So you're supposed to come here with your sword too. Smack it. This thing might be dead. We'll see how the fire pans out, but we'll just keep an eye on it. Body integrity is still 35, so it's not that big of a deal. Anyways, yeah, this game really wants us to suffer right now. It knows we're ending, so it's like, all right, we got to make sure we go off with a bang, literally. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Let's just make sure no one dies. Okay, so did we get the other okay, Kefir's alive. I'm gonna put it out. Don't worry, we'll put it out. See, they're coming. Oh shoot, it's cooking again. Okay, yeah, all the fuel cooked off. There we go. We're putting out the fire slowly. How are you doing, Alana? Hopefully you're having a good evening too. I really should just carry a fire foam pop. I don't have any fire foam. I'm like, man, I really should just carry fire foam poppers. Oh, like every tank engineer should have at least one fire foam popper. No, get back here and put the fire out. You're not allowed to leave until the fire's out. It's about to explode again. Nope, put it out. Oh, Lord. You know what? Can I just quickly make like a fire foam popper? Oh, right, we gotta bury the dead. Let's make 2 more graves. Yeah, let's see. Can I make a fire foam pop? How much is it to make a fire foam? Are they? Oh, you know what? I never researched fire stuff. Wait, no, I did. Wait, hold on. How do you wait? Hold on, fire. Oh my god, I never researched fire foam. Oh shoot, that's why. Oh yeah, this entire colony could have just exploded from a fire like at any given time. We just got kind of lucky that the whole colony didn't catch on fire. Oh, that could have gone bad. I think it's just perpetually just gonna take a lot of damage. All right, we gotta do this. We're almost here now, right? Okay, so in 19 hours we can do this. Yeah, we'll get some fire foam and some fire suppression. I never thought we would need it, I guess, but I'm like, maybe we should probably actually invest in. Considering how much chem fuel we have, you know, sitting around, it might not be the worst idea to just have that available. Oh my goodness, Kefir exploded. Is Kefir or is Xeophosaurus dead? In the interest of that was me not paying attention, and I feel like I should at least the Xeophosaurus should not have exploded to that because that was kind of dumb. I'm just gonna quickly revive him and pretend he didn't die, and I'm just gonna move him over here. Okay, he never actually died. Okay, how do I deal with the fact this thing is perpetually cooking off? It's fine. I wasn't paying attention. I gotta keep him alive. Okay, let's just keep this alive here. I try not to do that too often, but I thought that was kind of stupid. No, I want to keep this alive. No, we can protect it. Hold on. I think if we hold on, I'm gonna have. Okay, so hold on. Who else is here? You need to come over here and put out the fire. I think once all the fire, if you can put out all the fire at once, it's fine. It's mostly just getting all the fire off at the same time that's really difficult. Because it'll keep spreading, but as long as you can just keep smacking at it, you might be okay. Yeah, see, like once it's off like that, now the fire is gone. Now you do not want to turn this vehicle on until it's fully repaired in every way. So we're just gonna let that do its thing and just come back to this later. Okay. That was a disaster. Yeah. So anyways, what was I talking about before that? Yesterday you got 1941 of Japan run and still ending your war in China. Saw USA has higher scoring left the game. I guess handle USA ships though even now. I don't really know how to deal with the USA as Japan, honestly. I don't play Japan too often. Oh my god. Can you not? Can you not destroy the generator that's powering our entire colony? You have an 8-hour commute? Good luck is all I can say. I hope you survive. We'll remember you tomorrow in sacrifice if you survive your very long, painful journey. I don't want any of this technology. I don't know. I guess universal auto crafting is probably fine. Okay, what's next? Now that we have access to fire foam grenades, we should probably have everyone carry fire foam grenades. Let's grab a... Wait, what does this need? Meat. Wait. Is it supposed to be meat? Or is it supposed to be chem fuel? It is supposed to be meat. Okay, I'm not crazy. Okay. I don't think I've ever made fire foam grenades, which is probably why I'm like, wait, I'm so confused. Okay, the thing is, we don't actually have access to meat, which is actually a problem. Now there's a couple like moose I guess we could kill. We could sacrifice Bashi if I really needed to, but I would prefer not to kill Bashi just so we have access to the materials we need to make this. We're not gonna butcher Ranu. I'm not that cruel to butcher a small child. Anyways, let's go bury our dearly departed friends. Where is Ray, who is my best builder? Build me my graves, please. We need meat to make fire foam grenades, is what is being said. Also, I'm gonna replace this with the 2x. Is this thing making beer? Oh my goodness, why is there a mechanoid in here? Let's not put that in there, please. We're just trying to make beer. Why is this thing... Is it making beer? Oh, it is slow. Okay, that does take a while. Okay. 1,500 units of work. So I guess given about 1 or 2 days, you can make an entire stack of beer. We don't have access to lab-grown meat. Is that a mod that you can... Is that a thing in any of the mods that I have? I don't think so. Hi, Zoingo. How are you doing, comrade? All right, good luck, Dave. I hope you survive your very long, painful commute. I could have sworn I had tofu as a thing, but I think I might have actually turned that mod off. I think it was vanilla expanded, whatever it was called, vanilla expanded cooking, and I chose to not have that installed anymore because I was like, it kind of just does the same thing that other mods do. Oh wait, no, here, food press. I do have a thing. A food press allows you to make milk from beans, cheese from milk, and tofu from beans. Now, does that count tofu for the fire foam grenades? It does not, but it does count red lentils. Oh, wait. Hold up. Wait a second, hold on. I could have just been growing beans the whole time. Okay, wait. I don't have the tech. I don't have lentils unlocked. It's agricultural. I completely skipped this technology. I didn't realize beans counted as a meat source. Yeah, it's true. I really don't. There's so many mods I use. I'm like, I don't know what half of this does. I just know that it exists. Okay, is the Tsujirushi back to fully functioning? Please tell me it is. Yes, okay, it just needs fuel. Okay. Oh no, it's not ready yet. Okay, that's fine. We'll fix that up in due time. Don't worry. The next colony, I'm sure, will have a very normal mod list that will not make you cringe in any way whatsoever. Maybe. Probably not. It'll probably still make you agonize. Don't worry, it's next week already. I don't even know what the theme is. I think I was debating, I think I might want to do Ratkins, just to kind of give the Ratkins a shot. Because it looks interesting enough, and I'm like, maybe we'll give it a shot and see how they operate. What are the Koreans all about, this ratkin thing? What are they on about? Maybe they're on to something exciting, something good. So I previously have used Foxgirl mods. I'm personally a fan of the Korean. That's my preferred mod, but I know it's not everyone's thing. Okay, we're just gonna make a copy of this. Can I afford the electricity cost to operate one of this? Probably not, actually. We have a lot of excess during the day, mostly because I have a giant wall of solars. We have a giant stack of batteries. Surprisingly enough, I think our biggest problem is we don't actually have enough. We don't actually have enough water. Our entire colony's been operating off of like one pump. Probably not good enough. We probably should upgrade that to like a big pump. Well, this probably would help out a lot. That's true. So the colonies that we do use a lot of anime mods usually tend to explode, mostly because, well, they're usually taking place in starter town, and that's when I'm running like 15 different anime race mods, all that have unique effects and stuff that are a little insane. Now that said, I forgot that there's that one mod that came out, Isekai RPG leveling, that I was like, this could be perfect for like a shitpost colony, but at the same time, like, do I really want to go through the effort of playing this? I'm like, I don't know if I actually do, but it'd be funny for like a whole 10 minutes, I think is kind of how I would feel. I think the weirdest thing is that it's actually compatible with Combat Extended, which I saw and I was like, oh god. Rimworld doesn't need an RPG leveling system. That would change the game completely. Then I'm like, I'm not really willing to deal with that type of nonsense. Oh, Rimworld. What a silly game. Let's need it in the Miho. I don't think I've seen the Miho. I've seen a lot of other mods. Like, I don't like the Ayamaduki mods. I think are kind of like the ones I don't really enjoy. Miho the Celestial Fox. Why is the preview image censored? Why is the preview image for this mod censored is my first question. Let's see. Oh gosh, Psycast Specialist and Specialist Xenotypes. Oh, that's right. There were a lot of furries at the anime convention. It was very... I guess I'm not terribly surprised. You know what's funny? I've never been to a anime convention rave. Oh, I think Immortal was our... Oh, your name was our rector, right? So... Now these... No, I think it was Immortal, actually. We gotta pick a new one. Congratulations to Hayashi. Hayashi's been promoted. Yeah, like, I've never been fond of, like, going to raves and stuff like that, and I think anime raves are probably, like, one of those things that I just have zero, I guess, desire to go to. A lot of them just seem... I just don't like that type of environment, I guess is the best way to describe it. Am I a prude for saying that? Like, I just don't like raves. Every time I see people like, oh yeah, we're gonna go to the rave and party and drink and, you know, I'm like, cool. I'll be over in the arcade, bye. I'm just not fond of it personally. I get a lot of people are like into like that dance club culture, but when it comes to anime cons, I'm there for the anime stuff. A lot of people like turning into big parties. I think the most cursed thing I remember about ASEN was like way back in the day. I think it was like when Persona 5 came out. The funniest thing was someone went on Craigslist and posted like looking for people to join the Persona 5 orgy, and I was just like, why is this a thing? And like, that part isn't funny in itself, but the funniest part was reading it, and people were like, we don't want any of the fake Persona games. No Persona 1, 2, or SMT. Only Persona 5 and maybe 4. This is such a stupid thing to read. Why are people doing this? Oh my gosh. I tell you what, it's an experience. Oh, are we out of sleep blocks? No, we're not. No one's just bothered rebuilding this yet. Is this thing ready to move back to where it needs to go? Almost. Okay, I gotta use the restroom at some point, so let me do that in a bit. Okay, we're gonna do the steam boost. So this is going to boost it, and what I'm gonna do is, because I'm too lazy to wait any longer, we're gonna just wow, we did it. 3 times. Okay, so then we're gonna do that, and now we're gonna upgrade to the next stage. Install the pressure surge protectors to prevent the arc from ever reaching a critical breaking point while also increasing power output. All right, let's have Ray quickly do that. Also, did we bury our dead? This is not our dead. That's also not our dead. I don't know why the wrong people are being buried in these things. But that is kind of annoying. All right, Exonia's hurt. Let's have the heal do it. You open. Desecrate the graves, please. Let's put in the correct people. So this should be for your name, and this one should be for Immortal. Let's get them in the grave. Where are their corpses? Okay, so Airman, you're already here. Just bury. Okay, I think he's not allowed to bury, which is really odd. Okay, and I'm gonna have Ray rebuild the new aspect of our giant generator, which only needs some advanced components and a few arc components, all of which we now have large quantities of, kind of, except whatever was here, which is steel. We need to move the steel over. Thankfully, we have lots and lots of steel ready to go. I think our biggest thing is still plasteel. One of the things... Okay, this thing probably just gonna crank this size up by 1 range. Maybe by 1 range, 2 range. There we go. So now it's gonna refine plasteel 24/7. We got some more items. Okay, we actually have meat now, so we can at least make fire foam. Let's do that real quick. We're gonna order fire foam grenades. I want to make sure we have at least, I don't know, 100 in stock at any given time. Perfect. We have materials. We got EMPs, we got fire foam, and here's our next upgraded step that we've been working so hard towards. Okay, so this is the... Okay, so we need to let this run uninterrupted for 10 days to get to the final step, to install the flow regulators. This thing at max decay will produce power at about 15,300 watts per watt days, and then we could probably also do the calibrate efficiency or just do another steam boost. It doesn't really matter. I think we're just gonna let it run for 10 days straight, and I think that'll be the end of the run. So I think we'll probably just run the game a little slower now. We don't have to go as fast. We'll let it run at, well, the game's not gonna let me run any faster than 180 TPS anyways, because of the the sheer amount of lag that we're dealing with due to the game's intensity. So I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. You can gawk at our beautiful little colony that's been expanding for so long. But I think we can also set up the a new drone area here. You think your BDU hates you or something, but when you sunk the Royal Oak and asked for another task to sink some more ships on the way, they went ordered you to go patrol the sea areas of Scotland. Nothing but destroy some 8 SW boats there. No, see, you're so good at sinking ships that they're asking you to sink the ones that would sink their own, you know, your own navy's greatest assets, right? The U-boats. You gotta take out the U-boat killers so that the other U-boats can go in and kill them. Yeah. I'll be right back. Oh, thank you. Oh my goodness. I am a professional streamer. Okay, anyways, we have to defend ourselves from exploding because there's a lot of things that are out here to kill us, including these nasty mechanoids who are... Actually, wait a second. We might be able to just harass them real quick. You driver. I need a gunner. Let's see. I need someone. Okay, Sony's probably fine as a gunner here. Yeah. What was I talking about before I disappeared? I was saying some words and I've already forgotten what it was because I got flashbanged by the fact that I don't have enough. That I didn't have any. That I was muted. Oh, that's right. The other thing too about the anime convention I went to the other day, there was a huge uproar about. There was surprisingly a decent chunk of, well, anime art is this, or not anime art, AI art is the best way to describe it, and people were very unhappy and, you know, sharing their displeasure at the... Oh my gosh, Sony has a brain damage. I know I have a brain stim somewhere. Shoot, I don't have enough let's make a brain stim. Hold on. I didn't realize that Exonia was like brain damage now. Because we can't make the other upgrade because you'd need the advanced stuff which we don't have. So the best thing we could do is make a brain stim and hopefully that'll be enough. Try to get one brain stim out here. Anyways, yeah, there's a lot of AI art now at these anime conventions, and it's getting really annoying because I think they tried to get rid of, like, try to avoid it from appearing. And part of the problem is that it's starting to get a little more indistinguishable, kind of, from some of the stuff that people make, especially because there's like a lot, like, anime convention merch basically divide, like, Artist Alley is basically one of three categories, right? You have Flavor of the Month, which again for this convention was Uma, Hoyo, and a little bit of Arknights. You have people selling OC or like whatever characters, like their comfort characters, and then you have the people who are selling like the quote-unquote relatable merchandise, like, oh, this is a quirky shirt that says something haha about how, you know, I don't wake me up until I've had my coffee, or stuff like that. That's really all that everyone makes nowadays for these anime conventions, which is fine, whatever. I just think it's kind of amusing. I think for the convention I went to specifically, one of the biggest gripes that people had was there was a tattoo artist who was there, and their entire shtick was they had a lot of AI art, and people were very unhappy about that. Why are you not allowed to use this weapon? Your sword is bonded to someone else. What does that mean? Is this Havel's weapon? No. I don't know what's going on here. Let's get this. Let's get everyone with the gun over here. I gotta get some people with the brain damage fixed up at some point. Okay. You pull back. You start blasting this Lancer. This thing's aiming is pathetic. Okay, can you aim here, please? Just blast this thing before you die. Who's in here? Okay, Hayashi's already down, so it's just up to Garm. Okay. Get Alana over here to just pick up Hayashi from the tank. Okay, then you're gonna have Garm hopefully shoot in this direction, assuming Garm doesn't die. Okay, can you... There we go, perfect. So Garm... Oh, that's fine. Okay, we'll handle that and we'll move over here real quick. Okay, so they did try to approach, but thankfully the turrets are actually doing a good job of knocking them back before they get too close. So they all got gunned down like the animals that they are, and we just gotta kill the pikemen. Perfect. Okay. So let's just have you... Okay, unload. How bad is the injury? Frostbite and... Oh, it's actually just frostbite that you're dying of. Okay, that's a whole different problem. Okay. Okay, let's get you inside real fast. And then we'll turn this back on. We'll have Garm drive it back. I play Sea of that use vehicles or warcast because of crutch. I think I probably have at some point. Yeah, there's been a couple colonies where we don't have anything like that because that's just not part of the theme. It is just kind of nice to have a mobile weapons platform, but I do understand that it is a little overpowered. Oh my gosh, it's negative 105. Whoa, why is it so cold? I guess double ice age with forced weather and a volcanic winter and a fog storm would probably do that. Oh lordy, it is beyond cold. This is beyond Canada. Already sent crash out after 8 people die in 1 month. Yes, exactly. It's the ones where I crash out after that many people die. Yeah, I'm trying to get better. It's just mostly like, you have to remember, like, I'm trying, like, you know, when I'm playing, I have to try to remember, like, oh yeah, I have to do this thing, I have to do this thing. It's like, it's not ingrained in my memory, like, oh yeah, before you do this thing, make sure you're prepared by preparing this other thing. Especially in Rimworld, where there's like a lot of things to keep track of, and I'm streaming. I'm always gonna blame streamer brain, honestly. I think streamer brain is a very real problem that, you know, having to deal with. I think where's all of our beer, by the way? Hopefully the beer should probably, actually, let's put the beer in here too. Let's make sure. Okay, these people need to get out of the safety zone. I don't know why they're still there. Okay, let's get some beer. Well, I thought single walls would be fine. It was apparently not fine. Double wall insulation probably would have been a lot smarter in the grand scheme of things, but alas, I did not think about that. Oh my gosh, Hayashi's having a mental breakdown for some reason. Can you calm Hayashi from destroying anything else? Why is this thing on fire again? What happened? What happened? I just turned around and it's already on fire. Oh my god, we will never be free. Hold on. We should probably make sure everyone who's got a rifle should probably carry some of the fire foams. Everyone carry like 2 fire foams at any given time, should be okay. I am the soup. I love soup. I actually didn't eat that much soup this past weekend, surprisingly enough. The only soup I had was like a package of Korean kanji that was in like a nice packet, and I just had to heat it up. It was actually quite nice. Had a lot of seafood, but the shrimp in it was super mushy, which I guess shouldn't be that much of a surprise, but it was definitely a little interesting to consume. All right, let's crank this open. Make this deeper. I'm gonna make a bigger. Let's see, this is 13, so this has to go down to 13. Let's add another beautiful, whatever you call this thing. It's 5. Here we go. Add another, what is the word, hydroponics area. No, I don't think it's unstable biofuel. I think the game just hates me. We're making beer at least. Also, this one should not be storing. I don't know why the mechanoids are still in here. Okay, this thing does make beer, it just makes it really slow, so I might actually want to, oh, I have an idea. Let's move this here, and I'm gonna build another fermenting tank here, and then that's gonna require 1 robot arm and I think 1 medium frame. No, it's a small frame. Okay, that's fine. Let's get that slammed out. Part of the broth, part of the soup, part of the broth. I am part of the broth. Listen, soup is just good. Although the problem is that it's really hot, but I would still totally eat a hot soup. I'm not terribly fond of cold soups or the concept of it, really. I get people like it, but it is definitely not for me. If I'm having a soup, it better be nice and warm and hot and delicious and things like that. And I think my consumption of soup is also... Oh, wait, we gotta do the funeral. I forgot that we gotta do the funerals. Who's our moral guide? Isn't it Hayashi? Hayashi's able to function. Why aren't you able to... Oh, we can't do the funeral because of the extreme temperature in the ritual area. Yeah, okay, we're not going to do a funeral out there because it's just going to make more funerals for us to have to deal with. I looked at the temperature, like, wait a second. That's right, we got to wait for this to end. You know what? I think this area could probably get turned into, like, the tomb. Let's get rid of this wind turbine. We don't need this one anymore. That one's kind of unnecessary. Or actually... I was gonna make this like a giant armory, but maybe this can be repurposed into being like the tomb of the fallen. That might be fine. Actually, I just realized this thing's not symmetrical at all. This is 7. Oh, it is symmetrical. Yeah, let's turn this into like the tomb. Let's move. Yeah, actually, you know, I kind of like this. Yeah, we'll do this. We'll put a door here. Here, and then let's let that get set up in a second. Our utilities room continues to be a giant mess. That's fine. Let's slam this over here. Let's put another one down over here as well, and we're gonna need more water flowing through this. Or heating pipes, I'm sorry. Temperature, heating pipe, make it out of steel, and then just make sure it's all hooked up together. It's fine. Perfect. No, yeah, exactly. That's why I didn't do that and put the armory there. The armory is kind of just whatever's in here and also in here. This thing, you might have noticed, is filled with a lot of bullets and may or may not cause problems if it ever gets destroyed. I am so confused as to why they allow the weapons locker to essentially hold an infinite amount of stuff. I feel like this is, like, it's deep adaptive D-storage, but I feel like this should not be allowed to carry an infinite amount of items. It seems incredibly stupid. But what do I know about game balance? Apparently I don't know much about game balance at all, so, you know. Why? I'm not going to question it. We'll just roll with it. Okay, let's run power lines through here. Let's run a nice, beautiful conduit like this. And like this. And let's claim all of this for us. Yeah, here, 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 claim. Okay, and then we'll get a power line running through all of this. Perfect. So now the entire colony should be hooked up. Most of the colonies hooked up with power grid. Yeah, unfortunately, Rimworld's temperature doesn't have like AoE like that. It'll heat up the room, but I don't think it will, you know, track the immediate area around it. This thing has to run for another 8 more days, which should be fine. And I think we'll be concluded at that point, because we're not going to do the uranium one. I really don't care enough to do the uranium upgrade. Oh, we got research. What are we researching? Let's research. Do we learn how to make brain neurological treatments, which we can't really afford because these require large quantities of MAAI chips and Glitterworld medicine, none of which we have? Or do we just learn how to make more? Let's learn how to make more berries, more trees, chocolate even. Yeah, that's fine. Oh my gosh, yeah, our crops are barely growing. The heaters are struggling to keep up. It's not double walled, yes, I know, but I think maybe this one will be a little warmer once this one's kind of set up here. Let's find out. Now that we have a lot of power, kind of. Let's set up another drone cultivator in here. 2 drones and 1 AI chip. Okay, so we need 2 drones and 1 basic AI chip so we can get the drone cultivator going down there as well, and we can maybe grow additional crops. Ah, yes, vomit rain in the blizzard. For some reason, this entire stack of just weather effects is just ice age, forced weather, volcanic winter, vomit rain, ice age, fog storm. Truly one of the greatest places to live. Truly the most Rimworld and Frostpunky of experiences you've ever seen. So don't worry about it. It's just the way it is. Now let's put more concrete in here. That's all filled with concrete, and we're gonna paint all this a nice, ooh, let's do a nice like slate, nice burgundy for the, wait, get a nice burgundy for the tomb. Excellent. Yeah, that's gonna look nice, I think. Maybe. Please tell me I'm saying that correctly, because I was watching that clip the other day of me mispronouncing, what was the word that I was mispronouncing the other day? It started with a T. Why am I blanking out on the word? I forgot what the word was. I have to find the clip again. Let me see if I can find it. What was the word that I was struggling to pronounce? Tirade? Tirade? I think tirade is how it's pronounced, right? Yeah, tirade. Yeah. Yeah, so that I was like trying to I need to find a compilation of like every word I mispronounce. Okay, good. I am saying it correctly. Yes, I learned. See, I can learn. I can learn. I promise you this is not a bit. I promise this is not a bit. This is legitimately me sometimes forgetting how it's pronounced. Yeah, we're learning. Don't worry, Ray has to correct my pronunciation all the time of various Canadian terminology. Although sometimes I'm like, maybe she's just messing with me, because she's always like, oh, it's not foyer, it's foyer. And I'm like, no, it's foyer. That's how you say it in America. It's foyer, not this foyer type thing. That's Canadian. That's Canadianese. We don't speak Canadianese here. Although, yes, I do understand that the word is of a French, you know, origin, and that's why it is pronounced foyer and not foyer. I understand languages usually, most of the time. I'm not that incompetent, contrary to how I may appear. Can we get fuel on this thing, or are we out of chem fuel? We are actually running out of chem fuel. We may need to make more chem fuel. If we have any more fecal sludge or other fuel bits, but it seems like our colony is starting to run out of stuff. Ray's screaming in agony, that's right. It's okay, Ray. I understand that my genius is too much to behold. Oh my god, everyone's starting to freeze it. It's negative 105. Isn't Rimworld space cap out at like negative 100? So it's colder on the surface than it is in orbit, I think, is what I'm understanding. We should not be dealing with double ice ages. Oh, it's SOS2. Wait, okay. Oh, that's right. Okay, so what is normal Rimworld? Does it actually go down to like negative? Okay, so it is actually colder on the surface than in orbit. I guess, okay, I guess you can make the logic that maybe some of the heat from the local star is reaching whatever it is, and like if you average it, you know, you might be in, you know, no sunlight hitting you, so you're freezing to death, and then lots of sunlight hitting you, so now it's really hot. Actually, what is the coldest temperature in Frostpunk? Coldest temperature Frostpunk. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so Frostpunk goes down to about heat level differential. Looks like you can go down to like negative. Let's see. Negative 120 is the coldest you get in endurance mode on Frostpunk 1. So we are approaching that level of cold, I guess, because our heaters are not able to maintain the temperature needed to function. I think I would have to select every single radiator and step them up like 1 or 2 steps, maybe, just to keep it functioning. We'll try that, maybe, but it's gonna also demand a lot more on our temperature grid as well, so we're gonna crank these up to max. See if that helps a little bit. So 1, 2, yeah, it's not enough to really keep the, it keeps the bedrooms relatively warmish, but yeah, we're in that the storm has arrived stage in Frostpunk, just without the cute little music. We have the sad, or we have the happy Rimworld music of everything's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be okay if you believe in me. Okay, worry not. We will ensure the long-term survival of our colony. We will keep everyone alive through eating soups. Actually, now I'm kind of curious. I know a lot of electronics also stop working once you get below certain temperatures. Like, I think a lot of phones stop working too, right? Occupancy check here. Who's dying of hypothermia? Hi, she's dying of hypothermia. Great. You might want to go inside. Literally anywhere else that's not there, please. And there's the hypothermia. All right, what are you gonna lose? Your fingers? Why don't you come inside? Come on. Come on. Maybe you should take off that gas mask. Why do you move so slow? You already have bionic legs. Hypothermia. Oh, yeah. Or just keep him in here. There we go. Negative was an 89 at Vostok Station, Antarctica. Well, you know what? I like to think that the Rim is full of strange and mythical things that anything could happen, right? Including being frozen to death. We are not going to be able to run those funerals, but we should at least try to bury our dearly departed in a nice sarcophagus, as was suggested earlier. So, let's build a sarcophagus. Or sarcophagi. We got 7 dead people. Let's build them a fitting tomb of the finest steel. Okay, so how am I going to design this? Which is the front? I guess it doesn't really matter which way is the front. So we got 7. Let's at least try to make it symmetrical. Symmetry is always nice. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we can maybe put another one here. Okay, so the middle one is it's more like, oh, we're ready in case we have more people dying. We have more spaces available for them. We need to make sure that they are only restricted to people that, you know, belong to us. I don't want none of these random folks hopping in there. Let's also open these up a little bit. Also need to put fire in this room. Okay, so this one's gonna assign to... Okay, so don't allow anyone in here. That'll be fine. Perfect. At least, I want to hope at least that you enjoyed watching this run, as silly as it was to engage in temperatures that are well below what you would ever find in real life. I hope at least it was still an enjoyable experience of just wacky shenanigans. All right, let's get Immortal in here. Okay, so we should be able to bury Immortal now. Okay, and then let's open these up. Okay, so then this is Hawksby, so we're gonna put Hawksby in this one. Actually, he's got a 4 in his name. Okay, so that's fine. And then this one's gonna go to... I think we were about to rebury them for some reason. Okay. Okay, don't put them back. This is... Okay, I'm gonna just... Don't put them back. Okay, so then this is Goldenrod's. So we'll put Goldenrod in here. Okay, perfect. So then we can undraft you. Okay. That's fine. So then this is Steve and Steve. So we got 2 Steves we gotta bury now. I forgot we had 2 of them for some reason, so we'll put Steve in this. Steve 1 in here. And we're just Ray. We're gonna have Ray finish building the other one. We can get this one set up. I want to at least make sure everyone's buried in a nice spot. It was a good idea to do this, as Alana suggested. I would put fire in here, but we don't have any wood, so I'm just gonna have to rely on lamps and LED with like a little bit of like that LED flickering to make it feel like it's fire. You know what I'm talking about? Your name can go in there. We gotta make sure these guys are all buried. Okay. Open this grave. This is Comrade Katya. Let's get Katya in here. Why? Oh, that's right. I forgot Общение moves super slow. Okay, because I don't want to bury random people in here. These have to be our own. Okay, then bury the other one. And let's get Comrade Katya in this one. Assigned, your name is there. This one will be for Comrade Katya. And then we have 1 spare that I need to figure out the last one in here, which I think is the other Steve. This is Steve the Builder. So look at Steve the Builder into the last mausoleum, grave, and I think that's everyone. So we've got a nice little sarcophagus room for everyone. Let's also just add some lights and make sure the floor is nice and red and ominous with that beautiful burgundy. Excellent. Okay, and then while that's happening, we'll also get the rest of this slapped out too. I think right now it's just like, yeah, we're just trying to get everyone buried. I think also unburying everyone is driving people a little unhappy, so we might want to fix that ASAP. Thankfully, I believe Alana has the capability of surviving the frigid cold temperature, so I can just have her bury all 4 people, and it should be fine. Yes, having the overpowered maid outfits, very strong. Didn't you know that's how it works in real life? Having a high-end maid outfit immediately grants you bonuses against weather and against danger and other stuff. It's true. It's true. That's why they all wore it, because every maid in the British period was actually secretly a well-renowned martial expert that could defeat even the strongest of foes. Totally not something made up by watching too much anime or anything like that. I'm not supposed to say that part out loud while I'm exposing the secrets. I'm exposing the secrets of the great maid organization that has been keeping it under wraps. The world has to know. There's the secret cabal of anime maids out there that are keeping the world at peace. Or so they say. That's what they want you to believe. They're lying. Don't believe the lies. Okay, let's also add more paint here. I kind of like painting this. Actually, it's kind of nice to just have the option to add some color and pizzazz. I'm being seen. Oh no. Everyone here is actually part of the secret maid cabal. I knew it. I knew it. I wasn't crazy. That's why my Twitter feed's just been trying to show me more maid outfits as of late. I don't know why. It's like, you know what you enjoy? Wouldn't you like to look at it more? And I'm like, be gone. Be gone. I actually have so much food here. Look at all the beans. The beans are finally growing. I really need to, like, I think over the weekend, I really need to sit down and figure out, like, what is the mod list I'm actually going to run for the next colony. No, my browser history is very normal, okay? I'm gonna say it. My mod list, my list is very normal. My browser history. Totally. Hi, Garm, how are you? Garm, I saw a lot of Kigurumi at my local anime convention the other day, which I know you're into that type of thing. It's very interesting how well done some of those outfits were. It was mostly Toho, is what I'll say, and also a lot of Hololive. It was kind of strange at first, and then I was like, okay, that's I can see the appeal of this if you're into that type of thing. I think it's just being able to dress up like that is fine. But I saw like a decent amount of like Toho. There was a lot of Toho. Oh my gosh, I'm still of the opinion that I feel like Toho is probably one of the easiest things. It's not, well, I don't want to say easiest, but it's one of those things that if you're a guy, you can probably cosplay or crossplay with the right amount of clothing and makeup. You could probably be very androgynous and hard to tell apart. The only thing you'd be able to tell apart would be your voice primarily. But I saw a lot of really well done cosplays, especially one of like Remilia and stuff like that. No, it was probably like the biggest ones. Like at the biggest cosplay gatherings were basically Final Fantasy, Toho, and Uma, and also Hololive. The Hololive ones were they were quite a thing. Do I have any photos of it actually? Real quick, hold on. Do I have any photos of the Hololive one? No, I mostly have the Final Fantasy 14 ones. Yeah, that sounds about right. Oh, the Fate ones were also really big. Actually, now I probably could cosplay Fate, but it'd be boring and be like Waver Velvet adult version. Yeah, but yeah, Toho was super popular. It's kind of crazy. I don't think I have any photos of the Kigus on my phone, unfortunately. They were on my camera. Yeah. Unlucky. Anyways, how have you been, Garm? You said you couldn't go to ASEN. I think it was a lot of fun. Up to you if you want to go next year, but I think I'm kind of back into attending anime conventions at least somewhat regularly and enjoying my time there. So it's a lot of fun. You know, I have fun. I like it. But I also understand it might not be for everyone due to the fact that anime conventions are long and tiring experiences. Like I was like, after the last day, I'm like, I'm exhausted, I'm tired, I don't want to be here anymore. So I just did not go on Sunday. I was like, I'm done. Friday, Saturday, that's it for me. I don't go to raves. I don't do any of that stuff. If I stayed longer, I would have just been playing at the arcade, and I would just been playing Tune them for like the next 3 hours until I got tired of it. Alas, that's how it'd be. I will say, okay, one thing that I did find interesting, I took a photo of this. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. On the as I was heading out to the parking lot. No tornadoes. No more. I've disabled tornadoes completely. As I was heading out to the parking lot, I randomly stumbled upon like this, like rooftop idol performance, like on the parking garage rooftop, and it was like some indie local idol, I guess, who was like trying to, you know, plugging her Bandcamp and everything. Yeah, but yeah, there's like a lot of these people just like watching, and they had like the sticks and everything cheering her on. I was like, that is really cool. That was kind of heartwarming to see, like the whole underground idol scene that you have in Japan. At least there's a little bit of that energy over here in the States as well. I'm not gonna comment on the individual's performance, but it was nice seeing everyone at least cheering her on and supporting such a thing. I think that's super cool. It was super cute, and I was like, I did not catch the name of the person at all, unfortunately. I was like, oh yeah, I should probably ask, like, hey, who is this person? And I just completely forgot, and I was like, whoops, I guess I don't know anymore. So, teehee. We all make mistakes. Okay, so I'm gonna copy this. Can I butcher the stupid pikeman? Okay, so I'm gonna... Okay, so we're making the fire foam grenades. Okay, that's fine. And then I gotta get rid of this thing. No, I used to allow people to buy rats, and then I don't allow it anymore because it's just a disaster, and I don't want to deal with the disaster. So literally, we don't allow it anymore. It's too much. It's just not worth it. So yeah, the more you know. That's why we don't do it. By the way, we have beer now. Our pawns can now consume alcohol to stay alive. If they so desire the beer, they shall have the beer. Okay, we probably need to grow more tea. I think the tea's starting to struggle to grow now because of the weather again. These can, I don't know how high these can crank up to. I'm cranking up to 51. Maybe it'll help a little bit. No, it was a very long time ago. I don't know if you were around at that time. Probably not, but yeah, that was it. I used to allow people to just buy whatever they wanted. It accelerated the colonies really fast, but it made balance kind of thrown out the window. And so I kind of switched to you can customize your pawn, but you can't really buy stuff for the colony for free anymore. And I felt that was a much more a balanced experience. And I think a lot of people would probably agree that, yeah, overall, that's probably more balanced and less insane. So that's why we do it like that. Yes, we're on a permanent winter frost map. It is an ice age of the volcanic winter. It's negative 109 degrees centigrade right now. So we're basically frostpunk levels of nonsense. It is extremely cold. We are barely keeping ourselves warm. It's an eternal struggle. Yeah, it's a perpetual struggle right now. We have a giant generator in the middle here. It has to run for another 6 days uninterrupted. And then we've got our advanced solar generators kind of hanging. We have a lot of solar generators to fill the need because unfortunately, this is not enough. This thing only produces like 15,000 watts of electricity, and that's with max bonuses. These solar generators combined probably produce like, what is that, 17 times 2,000, like 34,000. And the advanced solar generators are producing like 2.5 right now times 14. So you're looking at 2.5, 14, so probably like 20,000 here alone. Yes, I have been informed that I probably should have been double walling everything. I did not double wall anything, and it's probably a little too late to commit to double walling. So that's the only reason I haven't bothered doing so at this point. I'm like, I've already committed this far. Is it really worth it? Oh my gosh, we gotta move the steel over. Oh shoot, what do you mean the output buffer's full? Can we get that steel over here, please? I need that steel here. Yeah, but I was already committed to the build, and I was like, we'll be fine. And we were fine. It's kind of hard to survive when you have double length ice ages. I think one ice age was fine, but I guess for the game decided to throw a second one at us, which is super weird. I didn't realize they could stack. Rana's almost aged up, right? Ranu is almost aged up. Another 9 days and Ranu will be an adult. And Ranu might actually hit growth tier 7? Maybe 6? That's true. I guess I could just... Like, I could... So I wanted to keep it in the spirit of Frostpunk, where it is essentially just giant streetways. And that's kind of why you might notice, like, there's a lot of streets. And that's why it's all exposed. It's not efficient at all. But I wanted to at least, you know, pay homage to the game that we're trying to design around it. So even if it's not efficient, even if it's really bad, I think I like it anyways. But no, I do agree. It's not a good idea. It's very, very bad. And a lot of our rooms are... The critical rooms are at least staying warm enough. Like, at the very least, this hospital room is at least functioning fine. A lot of the bedrooms are at least warm enough. Yeah, I mean, Frostpunk architecture is not efficient at all. Like, realistically, in a Frostpunk scenario, you'd want one giant building, right? Not, like, multiple individual habitats. Part 1 done. Have you been listening to me while you've been driving the whole time? Or did you just log back in to say that you're done with part 1 of your 5-hour, 8-hour commute? Survive your commute. I believe in you. You can do it. You can do it, probably. Make a big dome with a vent for a exactly. Like, realistically, that's what you would do. But Frostpunk kind of eschews that for the whole rule of cool type of deal. We're going to add the the brain stimmy. That should be fine. Well, the other thing to keep in mind too is that the Frostpunk timeline is like what, 1889, whenever the Krakatoa erupted. So they might not have had the technology to be able to build large underground bunkers at the time. And same with a lot of other stuff as well. It just wasn't realistic, I think, for the time period the game's trying to depict. Now, granted, you could probably rule it cool it, considering they have mechas in Frostpunk, and you could probably do whatever you want with that, you know. So it really just depends, like what level of are you willing to suspend your disbelief, right, with this type of thing. I guess we'll just throw all the rest of this. Why not? Sure. Cheese. Oh no, yeah, no. Frostpunk is very much like late industrial era, pre-World War I. I believe the inciting incident for the Frostpunk universe was Krakatoa, which erupted, I believe, in, well, okay, so let me double check the name of the game. So it erupted in 1883. I believe the new I think they are remaking Frostpunk 1 in the new engine, and it's called Frostpunk 1886, which let's see. So the eruption in 1883, I guess if it was like a super crazy eruption, like way bigger than it was in real life, the 1886 would be maybe when the first cities were being able to develop, or like I could see that being the case. But I think generally it's accepted that Frostpunk's lore, it's Krakatoa that's what triggered the Great Frost. I think I could be wrong about that, but at least that's what I remember was the thing. I think the other theory is that the sun just started to dim, and that's kind of what happened. There's like the whole thing of like, oh, if the sun dims even like, you know, 2%, the whole world could be thrown off balance and everyone could die. The great coldening or the great dimming, or you want to call it, could happen. I think in Frostpunk they call it the Great Frost. Everything's old. Yeah, everything is old, but it's kind of, it adds to a nice vibe, right? Because they wanted to go for a very specific aesthetic look. It's like Microprose is making. Yeah, you know what they're making? They're publishing this parking lot tycoon that I've been waiting for. I have been waiting for this stupid parking lot tycoon game to come out. It's being published by Microprose. I've been wanting it. Car Park Capital. As soon as that comes out, we're streaming that, by the way. Like, I am streaming that the day, well, the next stream day that's not a Rimworld as soon as it comes out. I've been looking forward to that stupid game. I don't think anyone really cares about, you know, these weird obsessions of mine for specific titles, but I really love the idea of a parking lot tycoon game. I believe the current Microprose is not related to old Microprose. I believe what ended up happening was the brand was acquired by like someone who's like a big fan of the original Microprose, and just like straight up bought the brand to revive it and use it for like a lot of the, I think, mill sims that the guy made or something. And so that's why Microprose is alive today, but it's not necessarily the same Microprose as it was back then, which there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's kind of interesting that it's just, that's how it came to be. But I'm waiting for some of the stuff that they're making. Plus, it is nice to have a publisher for these smaller games, you know. I do agree with that quite a lot. I actually need to stop going outside in the freezing cold. You may have bionic parts, but you are not going to survive this frigid. You are good for -60. You got a parka, you got a leather. Yeah, you're not going to have enough. I think even the most... I guess we could just give everyone marine armor. I guess marine armor just makes you immune to most temperature gradients. That's probably an option too. Yeah, close enough. Welcome back, Microprose. Exactly. Any plans on how I'm digging myself out in Xenonauts? So I know we're in the middle of that one mission. Am I that far behind in Xenonauts? I don't think I was, right? I think I was struggling with the whole, hey, we got all these, what are they called? The American branch is kind of, the American Penal Squad is kind of struggling, but everyone else was doing okay. I think we'd be fine. I think we'll be fine in Xenonauts. We'll just rely on that one A team and just pray to God that it's enough to survive all the other fights that we have to go through. I'm sure nothing bad will happen from such a desire, right? Let's also calibrate efficiency. So we're gonna let this thing reduce its power output, which is fine, but we're gonna get more power output later. Nope, Ranu will grow up soon. Steve will probably grow up approximately around the same time. Ranu's at 12 and 38 days, so that's 22 days, which is at speed 4. About 6 more in-game days, or approximately the same time that the thermal vent arc gets its upgrade. Maybe a day after this thing gets its final upgrade that we're looking for. So I think that's a pretty good amount. There we go. Yes, grow more crops for me. Why are you... Okay, let's see. Who needs new body parts, by the way, now that we have this? Okay, so Общение is fine again. Let's see. Scratch scars, bite scars, scars. Okay, you have an itchy eye. Rachel's frail. Ron is missing parts. Brain stimmy. Umi needs an ear. Thermia, spine. Okay, so that's fine. No, everyone's okay. That's right. I do remember that Alana had the hole. We had to replace her spine. This fog effect is kind of annoying at max speed because it just kind of like flickers really fast like this, but whatever. Anyways, what should we do for the next colony? I've been, like I said, I'm still trying to think about like what I want to do. I got to come up with like a nice theme and a nice objective that isn't just... Maybe we'll try... Should someone convince me that doing Ratkin is a bad idea? Is it just incompatible with a lot of content? Is it just like a meme? I know they're like really weak and they'll die really quickly because they're rats and they have like low HP. What's Ratkin? So there's a very popular Korean mod series called Ratkin, and it's basically anime rat girls and rat boys, and they have like their own unique, you know, tech tree and everything, and it's super crazy and all that stuff. Yeah, a lot of it's very medieval cottage core-esque, I guess is the best way to describe it if you're into that type of look. We could go full Skaven, like that's not wrong. You want to do a peaceful colony? We could try to do a peaceful colony, like a nice farming. We might try to do like in a nice more middle area that's not just... I think we've been doing like a lot of the extremes in the past few colonies. Let me see what what did we do before this one? It was Nekograd before this, right? I'm pretty sure it was Nekograd before to this colony. So let's see. Let me double check my Rimworld thing. So before FROSTRIM PUNKWORLD, it was Nekograd, and we ran Nekograd for 17 episodes. Good lordy. And then before we did that one, we were doing... Let's see. Oh, we were doing that caveman experience colony, and I got bored of it like partway through. I'm like, all right, that's enough of this. Yeah, that's right. Okay, maybe we should try something a little more relaxed then. I thought about installing that that one mod list that's like 1,000 mods big, and it's like, oh, it's like a progression mod pack, but I'm like, this is probably a very, very bad idea, and I should probably not do this, and I will not do that because I think my PC would explode at the mere thought of trying to run that much content. You know what I mean? So that's why we're not running that. Oh, we got a bunch of ibexes. Can we kill them? Food! Kill them all. Kill the yummy food. Consume the food. Can we move our vehicle back in here? This thing has fuel. All right, we're gonna go grab the car real quick. We'll just have Ixonia's already here. Just get in the thing and just drive it back. A mecha colony does sound interesting. I do like the exosuit. So I've said it before. I do kind of like Alwa's mods, but they are pretty overpowered. But thankfully mechas are kind of like late game content anyway. I don't know. I'm kind of iffy on mechas just because I feel like mechas are good if I want to do a very specific colony type, but it's not necessarily appropriate for all colonies. If we're doing a rat kit, I'm not going to do mecha. You know what I mean? We did a Metal Gear Solid colony a long time ago. I've been thinking about like revisiting that type of thing. We could do a PMC colony, which is Or we could just do like a normal farming. Whoa, what if we do like a wild, you know what, hold on. What if we do a Wild West? Yeah, we did do a Diamond Dogs colony at one point. Spend 100 days in a row with one survivor, no limbs. I mean, yeah, I could be like ambiguous amphibians, like, you know, one colonist, no arms. How does he survive? You know, like the one colonist, you know, and there's a nugget challenge. Good luck. And it's like, is that feasible? I don't know. Is it funny? Probably. Plaguebringer affair. I don't know what that is. I'm not gonna bother. Okay, can we run the leadership speech? Let's run the leadership speech real quick just to keep everyone a little happier. Still freezing cold outside. By the way, look at this. It's negative 108. It's colder in this room than it is outside. How does that manage to happen? How is it colder in here than out here? I don't get it. Yeah, how does that make sense? How is it colder in here? I don't get it. Whatever. Oh boy. Oh my goodness. Humans. Oh, we're being attacked by humans. All right. How many? What are we fighting? 36 humans. Do they even have the gear to survive this? They're all gonna freeze to death. There is zero chance they're gonna walk that far before they start freezing to death. I probably don't have to do a thing. I don't have to lift a finger. Oh, you get back here. Yeah, I think they're gonna just freeze to death. They're not even moving. I'm not gonna eat them. We're not cannibals. Just because, you know, we're fighting to the bitter end to defend ourselves doesn't mean we're going to go engage in cannibalism. We're not animals. You know, that's true. That is more fire poppers. That is true. But I think we'd just rather let them die. Oh yeah, look, one of them's already knocked out. This guy's already got his bad back. Too much pain for him, so he's already on the ground. They don't even have guns. Wow, I'm more surprised the game sent a human raid after me. I'm actually impressed. Like, I'm actually, like, color me surprised, impressed. I'm gonna crank these up a little bit more. So I'm cranking these to 71. I don't know if that's gonna be hot enough to keep this warm. I'm not going over there. Like, they're just gonna die. I have no intention of moving over there. Let them just perish. Look at them. They're beginning their assault, but how long can their assault last if they're already dying of hypothermia? Well, to be fair, this guy also probably didn't have good gear. Yeah, this man came in here with a jacket. Cloth jacket. All right, let's get some defenders out here. I guess Ray can defend. She's got a gun. Yeah, you know what, Ray, get over here. Pull out your shotgun. I bet you it's Ray versus all, and she could probably be fine. Unless they start attacking my wall, in which case that's a bit of a problem. Please don't attack the wall. Perfect. They generally do change their gear based on biome. I think some of them just didn't for some reason, but normally they will have warmer clothes warm enough for the current environment. Okay, and then go for the next batch. Nice. Okay. And they've given up. See, look at that. A lot of them tried to move over, and then they just kind of keeled over because, would have guessed, you know, hyper freezing temperatures, probably not a good place to be. You're gonna die. Who could have possibly foreseen this coming? Not even cavemen. They're actually like, are they cavemen? Oh, they are cavemen. Yeah, they're savages. I mean, to be fair, the world is kind of just rough. Like, there's not really any space to be that's warm. Everything is just frozen solid, and being here just kind of sucks. Yeah, who could have possibly guessed? I probably could get rid of that fog storm and I'd probably be okay. The fog storm actually reduces the accuracy of range weapons, so we've been actually fighting with our guns at a massive penalty, and I just haven't bothered correcting that this entire time. If I go send a tank over there, it's gonna take a couple days to move. If I send the Zojirushi, it's at least 5 days to get there and 5 days back. I guess we could have done it earlier, but whatever. The permanent storm doesn't actually bother me that much because it just means our wind turbines just perpetually generate maximum energy, and that matters more. And plus, it protects us from the mechanoids. I think the accuracy penalty helps us more than it helps the mechanoids, if anything. I have no idea if that's true or not. I could be coping. I could be completely coping. Let's add more tech to this research thing. I don't even know what even matters at this point. I'm just grabbing all the industrial technology. Turret packs, sure. Orbital tech, we don't really need. We're not going to space. We're not doing mech stuff, so we're not doing mech tech. Smoke pops. I probably should have made smoke grenades. I don't know if I ever made smoke grenades, actually. That would be a thing, too. We probably could have made a sauna, actually. A single sauna to keep our colonists nice and happy and toasty would not be the worst idea. What if I just install a sauna here? You know what? I wonder, could I just... Could I install a sauna here just for the heck of it? The way that all the Finns love a sauna, right? So realistically, we should put a sauna here. An eccentric maid outpost? We could actually try to do a maid outpost colony. I would not be opposed to that necessarily. I think if I were to do that, I'd probably start a little later in technology than the default. Yeah, maybe we should try to put a sauna here. Not the worst idea. Going fox ears? Okay. So, show of hands, who wants a... Oh wait, I have an idea. Oh my goodness, I know what I'm gonna do with this area now that we have time for this. We're gonna add a door here. Show of hands, who wants a cozy, anime-themed maid colony. It's basically the same as Waterworld, if you remember how we did Waterworld with the whole mod that we did. Hospitality. Let's see, I'm gonna put a sauna in here. It's a fairly sizable sauna. I'm gonna make a gym here now too. Put a gym. Let's move the ball here somewhere else. Take the owl ears. Yeah, I'll have to let me give it some thought. When I go back to dual wielding Final Fantasy 14, God, I don't think we're gonna do Starter Town as a colony theme realistically ever again. Primarily because it is a very, very laggy experience, and I don't really want to deal with that again. All right. I don't know if steel chairs are good for being... Actually, that's fine. We have a slate. Use slate. Perfect. And we can add an electric sauna furnace like that. I think it'll be fine. So we can do that real quick. Actually, no. I think realistically, you probably put it like this. And then you put the furnace like that. Ooh. Eccentric. I don't think they interact that well. I don't think they operate that well interoperably, right? I don't know. I know Alana hasn't updated Rim Reborn because she's waiting for something from the official Rimworld group to finalize. We're being attacked by... Who are these people? Pirates. Oh, they have actual gear that I need to be worried about. Are they attacking immediately? They're all attacking. Okay, they actually have armor. They don't have any conflicts? Okay. Well, I know like a lot of the Eorzean stuff can only be applied to characters of Eorzean descent, right? Or something like that. Or unless you give them like the ether or something. I know you're like waiting to update it anyways. I'm trying to shoot them down. I might just try to mortar them. Arm's already dealing with hypothermia. I don't remember the name of the mod. We'll gun them down. Once they... Okay, they're approaching now. Okay, so who's ready to fight to defend the hearth and home? Havel's ready to fight too. Whatever the turrets are gonna do. I don't know if the turrets are gonna be able to do too much against this guy. We'll try. We did actually just pop one of them, surprisingly. And they are being suppressed, which is a good sign. The little turrets are doing stuff here. I don't know if I saw the Kalbmon pack. Let me take a look in a bit. That guy's surviving annoyingly enough. Let's move this guy's up here. I don't know. I'll think about the eccentric maid 14 thing, but I think I don't want to do a 14 themed colony right now. Maybe at some point I will, but it's not currently something I'm prioritizing. Okay, so one of the stacks is fleeing. Okay, so this is the stack that's gonna be the biggest threat. Have what I want ready to go smack him around. Okay. So that stupid shield thing is actually keeping them protected, which is annoying. And I think these have run out of bullets, and these aren't being auto-resupplied for some reason. Shh, no, you're not supposed to say the quiet part out loud. You're not supposed to say that. No, we're supposed to keep that. We're supposed to keep that quiet. I'm finishing 14 slowly. I haven't actually done any MSQ in quite some time because I've been heavily distracted by doing literally anything else. Like I log on to 14 and it's just like, oh, Ray's like, let's do dailies, or let's do maps, or let's do insert other content. We did maps with her friends the other day, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have not done maps in so long that I didn't realize that there was a literal roulette machine built into one of the map map portals now. I legitimately had not done it in so long. I was like, wow, this is new to me. Yeah, so I'm like, all right, time to do more maps so I can get more treasure in the near future. More treasure means more money. I actually made a decent amount of money doing other things. I don't like fishing. I don't like fishing at 14. It ain't my type of thing. It just ain't my thing. I like crafting. I like making furniture. I like selling furniture for money. I'm glad that I'm basically going to enter. Oh, you know what other change I completely didn't realize? I, for some reason, didn't realize that if you're level 100 in any crafter, you can meld materia onto any gear. Back in the day, it used to be you had to be X level in a specific class to be able to meld onto that gear. Like if you had like a weaver gear, you know, made by a weaver, you had to have like level 100 weaver to be able to meld onto it. But that, like, apparently that changed a long time ago, and I didn't realize. You have to remember, I was literally like 2 or 3 expansions behind on crafting. Okay, I sped run my crafting journey like last week, some like of level 100 with like the relic tool and everything. So I'm actually okay now for crafting. When I was like, man, I was super behind. Don't worry, when Evercold comes out, I'm gonna be one of the bestest players ever, who's gonna be on top of, you know, content and everything and not fall behind, is the copium that I'm gonna keep telling myself, and I will totally maintain that forever. No, I promise I'll pass it. My plan is I will finish the current MSQ stuff up, and like I will get to work on it after I come back from Canada, so maybe in June, and then I will grind it out like maybe a little bit, because I know you could finish like an entire patch of quests in like about it in an evening if you just sit down and do it. So realistically you could probably get it done in like 6 nights, excluding the time to do the trials and everything. I'm not gonna do it today. I can't. I don't stream 14, by the way. I feel like if I stream 14 I probably could even get it done faster, but I don't like streaming MMOs. It's kind of my other thing too. 14 is one of those things, like I gotta keep it, you know, personal to myself, all that jazz. Is this thing actually gonna keep this warm? How much heat does this actually generate? Heats it to 60C. I don't know, I guess we'll see if it heats it to 60C. It's gonna try. Oh, it's gonna try. Could probably add another one. I think I can add one more here. Maybe we don't need this many. We probably need another sauna heater here. Just put 2, and then we'll set up the gym here so we can actually have some nice workouts for our dear comrades who need a little bit of that extra muscle. I will not stream League. I have made it my life thing to never stream League of Legends. Okay, I will never stream League. I don't play League that much. Like, it's a bit of a curse. League is a thing that exists and will remain as a memory. And maybe I'll occasionally watch World Finals because I do enjoy esports sometimes, and I have some friends that are really into it. But beyond that, no, I will never play League. I will never stream League of Legends. I will guarantee that. I will guarantee never streaming League. Hello, Interest. How are you doing? How was your stream, comrade? What were you playing, actually? Let's find out. Let's see. What were you playing? Still Rimworld, magical air. What is the magical air ambulance thing again? I don't remember. Is this like, is that the name of your giant grav ship? Thank you for the raid. I appreciate it very much. For those of you here, my name is Oak. I play funny strategy games. Welcome to our little Frostpunk themed colony with our beautiful little generator that's been getting bigger and bigger day by day. It's quite beautiful, is it not? Hospital mod, okay. Got it. Okay, I haven't really played the hospital mod too much. I remember trying it a couple times, but I was like, I didn't get too far in using it. This generator is from Vanilla Expanded Quest, the generator, and it basically adds a Frostpunk themed generator to your colony. As you can see, it's quite large. It does its thing. We're slowly trying to survive the negative 97. It was negative 110 earlier, so it's kind of warm. Your friend got gold in League of Legends and said he can finally lose his virginity. I'm sorry to tell your friend, but getting gold in League of Legends just makes people want to not have anything to do with your friend. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. That's just how it works. Yeah. I'm sorry. Your friend will remain alone. You deleted his account? Good. It's too simple because there's integration mod. You actually need those serious cast spells. Really? Rix has that as an option with like what, Rimworld of Magic? That's interesting. That is actually quite interesting. Kunbo out. Okay, got it. I haven't switched to Rix yet. I'm still kind of like, man, I like this mod. I don't want to leave. I'm too lazy to leave. I'm gonna add another one of these things. Maybe they'll help keep this room warm. Let's see. I need to add the temperature piping here. There we go. It's a grief fest when you have a enjoy. Okay, got it. I mean, if you're only doing like a little bit of time, that makes a lot of sense. Hello there, Steve. How are you? And Z Panic. Welcome. Look at how big our colony is. It's so chunky. Oh, what did I forget to make? Oh, I forgot to make a basic AI chip. We gotta make one of those. That's probably why I never built this thing. Yeah, look at it. We've got everything from crops to energy to other things. Yeah, Steve, don't worry, you're gonna grow up soon. Ranu's gonna grow up very, very soon. Ranu's got 3 more days, and then Ranu can finally become an adult that they've been waiting for so long. Maybe I'll have to take a look at Rix at some point, because I know because Hodl, I think, kind of disappeared off the face of the earth, probably got busy with stuff, and so that's why there's not really much going on for Twitch Toolkit anymore. It's kind of like just being maintained to function, but not really adding any more content, if that makes sense. What does RIC stand for? Or RCIS? Rimworld something? Chat? Framework or something? I don't know. Rimworld Interactive Chat Service. And it's by Capital Lamia, is that right? Oh, you can even add YouTube support to this. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, okay. I might need to look into this at some point. Maybe not for the next colony, but maybe the one after that. I'll take a look at it. I've been using Twitch Toolkit for so long, that's just kind of what I know how to use. I have to rewrite like all the guides that like I have like linked in the, you know, Twitch chat, where it's like Rimworld commands, you know, like this one. I have to rewrite this thing for the new commands. All that stuff. No. See, if I do move it over to RCIS, I'm just gonna find a way to copy everyone's points over, because all of your points in TTK is stored in the JSON file, right? And it's literally just name points. And then I was like, well, could I just convert this over to like whatever the new point system is, and then just call it a day? have to see. Maybe it's not that difficult. Could write up a script to maybe reformat exactly as needed for. It saves YouTube, Twitch platform ID number. Oh, so it's not just a username. It's actually like a. Platform ID. How do I find my platform ID number? But I thought your Twitch. Oh, your user. Okay, convert Twitch user into user ID. Oh, okay, I see. Well, I guess that's one of those things that I'll just think about for the time being then with that before I switch over, because I think it'd be nice to just have that, you know, transition over, because I think it's kind of nice to have that, you know, knowing exactly like that continuity. I like having data continuity like that. You're still having flashbacks. At the time, Whiskey decided to run Crouch Control. Not only forgot to save meter checks, but left them at a price where the starting amount of chat gave them 3. That's, yeah, that sounds about right for the first time Rimworld adventure thing. I don't know, we'll see. I would definitely like to be able to keep the numbers moving and start most of TTK off. But would it be better to just have a new era then? I guess we could have a new era. To be fair, I didn't really care too much if people god pawn themselves, because if they died, then, you know, they died. So it's like, all right. Oh, yeah, that's right, because I know a lot of other people do reset points every time between streams. I don't. I keep it to the same quantity. I keep it the same all the time. I'm the weird one, honestly, when it comes to that type of thing. Do we have any more dyes, or are we out of dyes still? I need more. These crops are taking forever to grow is the other problem too. Can I add more drones? Actually, hold on. I want to see how many points someone has. I'm gonna hide the game for a second. 1 second. I'm gonna hide the game for like 1 second. I want to just check something real fast. I want to see how much someone has. Okay. One second here. Okay. All right, my background data check has concluded. I don't know if a million points goes. At this point, not really. A million points, you could do whatever you want in the game, and you'd probably be fine. You could buy all the stuff you want. You could make a god pawn. So Ray does not have 10 million points. I can tell you that much. I have the highest amount of points because I'm the streamer. I can tell you that much. I know who has the second highest, and I know who has the third highest. I don't know who has the fourth highest because I can't be bothered to check. So yeah, I know at least that much information. Also, we gotta run the heating pipes over here. Normally I would heat this up with fire, but there's not really any fire to heat this up with, so we'll just do it like this. Let's run a beautiful heating pipe system, and then we can set up a few large radiators to kind of heat up the temple as best as we can. Perfect. And now this room is 14. Okay, so how hot does a sauna realistically need to be? Very hot, right? If I add another one of these, would it maybe make it even warmer in here? I guess compared to the outside, being in 20 centigrade or even 15 centigrade would be incredibly toasty. The electric saunas only go up to 60 C. I don't think anyone's gonna get in there, really. Honestly, I just miss playing in the colony. Like, legitimately, one of the things I've missed so far in this run is being able to play with wood. Like, we just have not had any wood access whatsoever, and it is actually kind of depressing. I would like wood again, please. I miss having wooden things in the colony, like, legitimately. Yeah, I would never do a permanent toxic fallout playthrough. I would be bored out of my mind. I hate like toxic fallout and solar flare. I think I disable almost every single time because I don't find them fun at all. Like, I find them incredibly unfun, so I was like, nah, just kill it. I know it kills all your trees on your map. Ice Age also kills all your trees on your map. You just cannot grow trees. Ever. Trees will never spawn in any spot at all. So, like, whatever trees you have is whatever you're getting for the rest of the game. It's a little depressing, but that's just how it works, I guess. It's not terribly fun. But I like the wood. I like seeing wood. Why is Hayashi? Oh my gosh, Hayashi is dying of what? Extreme frostbite. Why is there a psychic bond with Umi? Is Umi a Wait a second. Oh my god, I forgot Hayashi's a high mate. I forgot about that. Okay, Hayashi's a high mate. That's really funny. That's really funny. Yeah, I think if there was a way to protect against solar flares, I think I'd be a lot more okay with it. Like, if there's a thing you could build that, like, shields some of your electronics, it'd be fine. Tornadoes are also really dumb because tornadoes rip through underground bases or, like, under mountain bases, too, and I find that incredibly stupid. And so I don't... And I ban tornadoes. There's a lot of stuff. Wait. What do you mean it has to run interrupted before? Well, it's only been for 1.8 days. It should have been... What? When did it stop running? It never didn't not stop running. Or did calibrate efficiency reset it? Oh my god, I bet you calibrate efficiency reset it. If it is, that's really dumb. I'm just gonna... That's not supposed to... That's dumb. That's stupid. All right, we'll promote it at the same time that Ranu ages up. How about that? That's our new metric. Ranu's colony birthday gift is becoming a gift for becoming an adult is getting a brand new arc generator, and that's gonna be really cool, I think. Yeah, let's pretend that's how it works. Flares are just kind of annoying. Yeah, I mean, in a normal playthrough, flares are also annoying, but in this type of playthrough, flares would completely kill the colony. Like, it would actually just completely end this colony, and it would just be the end of it. Like Dwarf Fortress. I played Dwarf Fortress on stream once, but I don't think a lot of people watched it, so I never bothered streaming it again. That's kind of how I feel. That is kind of like how I do things. So, like, if people don't seem interested in a game and after I stream it, then I'm probably not going to stream it again. I know it sounds very viewership centric, but kind of is how it is. Or people don't like... And Dwarf Fortress is one of those things, like, I always say this, Dwarf Fortress is hard to watch. I do not have any sidecasters now. Dwarf Fortress is a great game for you to play if you enjoy it. It is a terrible game for a viewer to watch, is my true and honest opinion. It is very difficult to follow, especially with all those different Z levels and all the bajillion dwarves you have to manage and all that other stuff. Like, the UI is hard to interpret at a glance too. Rimworld, you understand, like, you can look at it and you can understand what is happening. Dwarf Fortress is like, you need to play the game to understand what it is you're looking at, and that's kind of why I like Rimworld a lot more as a stream title. It's because you can, even if you've never played Rimworld, you understand, like, this is a person, this is a child, this is a person with a gun, right? Like, it's very easy to understand. Dwarf Fortress doesn't really have that. I think Dwarf Fortress, Workers Resource Soviet Republic is not necessarily in the same category for that type of thing, because WRSR, even without playing the game, you intuitively understand that it's an actual city builder. And nearly anyone who's ever played a video game has played a city builder at some point in their life. And so you watch WSRS, you may not know all the intricate mechanics, but you understand that there's a city to build and you have to meet their needs. And just depending on how extreme the player is, or the streamer is wanting to deal with the mechanics, that determines, like, how much nonsense they're putting up with. But at the very end, it is still a city builder, and most people can understand a city builder when they see a city builder. It is not the same for Dwarf Fortress. Dwarf Fortress is very complicated. There's a lot of different mechanics and requires a lot of description from the streamer, and the people who are going to watch Dwarf Fortress are going to be ones who enjoy watching basically only Dwarf Fortress, and the people who watch Dwarf Fortress are probably people who don't really watch much else, or they watch other games of that type, like CDDA, for example, that type of game. So I'm not trying to, like, I think WSRS is actually in its own it's a different category. It's like, it's actually a little better to stream, mostly because, again, it's a city builder. People instinctively know how to build a city, or at least understand the bare bones concepts of city building. You cannot say the same for Dwarf Fortress. Dwarf Fortress is literally its own category of content, and that's why I don't stream Dwarf Fortress. I've played it, but I don't really think it's something people want to watch. And I know it's like, I could play game, you know, it's the whole thing of like, play games that you want to play and all that stuff, but there is a thing of like, as a streamer, I do have to kind of think about what I stream ultimately, and is it going to be fun? Is it enjoyable? Is it, you know, you know what I'm talking about? I hope that makes sense. Like, I'm not trying to like be negative about Dwarf Fortress. For a city builder you saw in passing in a YouTube short and now you've forgotten what it was, it reminded me of thinking, good. I'm glad that people think of me when I play city builders. I love city builders. It's like my favorite genre of video games, unironically. I grew up, like, I think legitimately, one of my earliest video games I ever played was SimCity 2000 and SimCity 3000, because those came out when I was a little kid. I think SimCity 3000 came out a little before the turn of the century, and so that's why I got it. Aesthetics are a game mechanic. If you build a grid, people and happy. I mean, I would totally play a game like that. I've played a couple city builders where it's like you have to try to make it look pretty, like aesthetic. Making your city aesthetic was part of the mechanics. Town to City is like that. Nova Roma's got something similar, but you can kind of do a grid anyways in Nova Roma because that's not really a core mechanic of the thing. I do enjoy a good city builder. I think City Skylines is kind of in an issue where it's like people are kind of unhappy with where it's been going, and so the general city builders are like, it's either City Skylines or you play City Skylines 2, 1, or try something else, because SimCity is kind of dead. But thankfully, I've seen, at least in the past year, there's been a lot of people that are trying to get into making new cities builders that are a lot more interesting. Like I've seen Civilized, County of Fortune. I know there's that one that Ranu was playing called Memoriopolis, which is also on my list of things to play. There's also City Master Plan, which looks a lot like City Skylines. There's City Architect. There's City... Where's another one? There was Lynn, there was Junctions, there was City State Metropolis. There's like so many different ones that are coming out very soon. I'm very excited to at least stream a few of them when I get an opportunity to do so. And if they want to send me a key, if any of those developers are watching, you know, I will gladly shill a city builder if it's good. I actually got an email the other day that was kind of interesting. I didn't accept it, mostly because I didn't know what was going on, but they were sending me like, they were actually offering me like a paid, I guess, collab request. In a sense of like, I streamed their game and advertised it for them, and they'd pay me something, but they wanted to know how much I would ask for. But I was like, I don't really feel like this is a game that I think people would want to watch me play, nor could I convince them to necessarily buy the game. And that's kind of like why I was like, I don't know if I really should do this. I feel like for me, I'd have to be very specific about like what the types of games like that I would accept, and it would basically just boil down to Rimworld, which they will never do that type of sponsorship, let's be real, or a city builder, or a tycoon game would be like the one, or a strategy game would be like the ones that I would be interested in. The other one was not of that genre. So your favorite thing to do in Rimworld is torture people and place their limbs with pegs and place them in the cham baths or kiss skins and leave themselves in a dark, cold mountain room with their interesting that only fight the pains getting alive by the bugs. So you're the type of person that the average Rimworlder experience, committing war crimes for fun. That's the vibe. Is that the vibe now? Okay. They don't just arbitrary aesthetics, like some kind of cultural mechanic like feng shui or something. So the aesthetically plan to sit in aesthetic way, people just don't like it. Oh, you know what? I think there was a game like that. What was it? There was like Amazing Cultivation Simulator that's kind of like Rimworld-esque, that has that type of mechanic where you have to manage the feng shui and manage like the, what is it called, the like your room door directions. Is not okay, got it. It's a very loud minority. I think that's what people think about when they think of Rimworld, where they're just like, oh, Rimworld, that's the game where you can, you know, commit war crimes, haha, XD, funny. And it's just like, all right, come up with a better joke, please. We've all heard it a million times. Rimworld, haha, funny war crime simulator. It gets old. It's not always about the war crimes. It's sometimes about the war vibes. I'm gonna stop this mate from mining still. Let's suspend this real quick. I want to get some slate. We need slate anyways. Let's get some slate going. There we go. Just dig all that out bit by bit so we can get some more slate going. Ranu's almost aged up, right? Okay, one more in-game day and Ranu finally becomes an adult. And then Ranu can be blessed with proper adult clothes and their first proper weapon. Oh, it's also on draft. Hi, actually, I forgot to do that. It's not a war crime the first time. Yeah, we call it a happy little accident, apparently. Unless that's what some people like to call it. I cannot get this any warmer. I don't know how to get this room, like, legitimately any warmer. Maybe I need another heater. Let's get another heater in here. Like, unironically, this might be what we need. Just paid mods and modders are the only reason Rimworld is popular. Yeah, people completely forgetting the fact that those mods are what lets them keep adding more content and also keep updating the game. Do people actually get mad when like a mod gets mainlined? That seems like a very silly thing to get mad about, but you know, I could see people getting mad because people get mad about the stupidest things. The colony named Canada. People getting mad on the to defend the honor of the modders is definitely a decision that I guess you could make. Is it a good decision? No, but it's a decision. What was I gonna put here? I think I was gonna put the this is gonna be like an entertainment room. I think I wanted to build a library at some point. Let's divide this up. So we're gonna do, we'll do gym here, library here. This is basically like the rec center, more or less, for the colony at this point. If I invited you to make character for one-shot anime style well on this opportunity, and you're making a Canadian Mountie horse girl as a character. Oh, that sounds actually kind of fun. Is it Deadlands? Are you playing on the Deadlands on Savage Worlds? Players are stupid mod authors, make mods because they want to see something added to the game gets mainlined, something we don't have to maintain anymore. Yeah, I feel like it would be better in the end, right? For the modders, like, well, I've done my job. Like, I remember like when Wall Lights got mainlined, basically. Remember that? I can't believe Wall Lights finally got mainlined. It truly was a blessing. And everyone was doing like the whole, you know, salute emotes for like, oh, we'll remember you. We'll remember this mod. All right, come on, Ranu. Let's get you aged up. I don't think Ranu's gonna reach 7, unfortunately. So only one passion. And we'll all remember Wall Lights. Wall Lights did its job, right? And that's all we can be happy for that. We can be happy that Wall Lights did exactly what it was intended to do. And it should, you know, wear that badge with pride. Let's do this real fast. Just add. Can I paint this? Oh, you can't paint under this. Interesting. So it must be gray. That is odd. I think freezers didn't get mainlined because there's like 2 ways to approach freezers, right? I know there's like the main way to do it, like that's like the popular one. I know Alana's got her own interpretation of freezers, where I believe this one is the one. I think this is the eccentric tech version, where it just, if it's in there and it's powered, nothing happens. I think the other ones like will actually like track temperature of the items inside and try to make sure that it, you know, if it'll actually decay the items over time. Things like that. Yeah, I do remember like you had this discussion at some point and you were explaining it to me and I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Yeah, Rimford is the inefficient one. Yes, that's why we switched to the eccentric tech one, because it's also like super early in the tech tree anyways. Everyone wants a refrigerator, so granted, if you're playing vanilla, I mean you could just do it like this and just have a giant storage room full of food like I am, like a savage. But you know, try not to do that. Try to be a normal person and actually organize your things instead of just having bags of rice scattered across your entire colony. Next, you know, having your rice next to your beer, next to your explosive chemicals, next to the multiple piles of soup, next to the all the other stuff that I somehow managed to acquire over time. Let's also stop making soup here. They're efficient and also have pretty glass covers and have all. Exactly, I like. To have pretty glass covers. Code didn't work out for wall freezers. Just air out. Oh, okay. Yeah, I like I like the glass. OSHA does not support this action. I saw a tweet earlier of someone apparently like running into a player in Final Fantasy 14 where they were role playing as like a 1950s Detroit construction worker who was isekai'd to Eorzea and was like really deep into the role playing about OSHA violations and stuff like that. It was very interesting. All right, Ranu's finally become an adult. It only took the entire colony run for this to happen. What are we giving Ranu? There's not really any animals to become passionate with, so I guess we'll give you socializing. And fast learner or muscular or careful shooter or ball. These are all actually positive. What do you want, Ranu? You get to choose. Which one would you like? Fast learner? Okay. You get to be a fast learner. Okay, we're gonna also install the flow regulators now, so we're gonna have Ray slap this upgrade on. You know what, Ranu? How about this? Because you've waited so long for your colonists to get here, I will save your pawn. We will transfer your current iteration to the next colony. I feel kind of bad. We'll also do the same thing for Steve. Steve gets to transfer to the next one because you were the... You know what? I kind of like that idea. Like, if we have children pawns and they make it to the end of the run, I would not be opposed to transferring them to future runs, or like to the next run, kind of like a continuity thing. I kind of like that idea, actually. We might try that. We just need to make sure we strip out anything that's not correct. Oh shoot, you don't have any gear. Okay, well thankfully we have a parka here, so let's give you this. Yeah, I forgot you turned into an adult, and you don't come with adult clothes. You just immediately just... Okay, so you have to walk through the freezing cold naked. Okay, so that's fine. You're still alive. So you need a shirt. Do we have any shirts sitting around? We have like a single shirt that's on the verge of collapse. That's fine. Take that shirt real fast. Okay, that's fine. And then we're gonna clear the force apparel, and then we need pants. Okay, so give you these pants real quick. Okay, so puts you down. Oh, we need the cloak. Got one spare cloak here. Perfect. Okay, so we're gonna give that to you. It's not ideal, but at least it'll function for now. Okay, so you're good up to -84, which is probably the bare minimum you need to function okay in the colony. And then you said make you thin body shape. Just get rid of that real fast. Okay, so we're gonna give you shape thin. Okay. So you're still 13, so you don't really have much going on for you right now. Probably get you like a weapon of some kind eventually. All right, and then Steve, once you grow up, very soon, you'll grow up by the end of stream, and that'll probably be the finale. Okay, so here we go. We got the heat-powered arc. This is the final step of what we've been trying to do. This thing produces 15,000 watts of power at max speed. You can also calibrate the efficiency. You could also steam boost it to boost the amount of power. You could also calibrate the components, I guess, to force a soft breakdown to make it last longer, I guess. So that's kind of neat. It looks pretty. It's not as industrial looking as I was hoping it was gonna be. It's a little too clean, you know what I mean? Shame there's not like a second graphic one that's a little more grungy. But alas, I think we've done a pretty good job of overall keeping the colony upgraded. Oh, I forgot to make more UAVs, didn't I? And the whatever this is I need, let's get that done real quick. Oh, let's also just make more clothes real quick before we forget. We need another parka, more shirts, just fresh clothes, I guess. Maybe a tail cap, maybe some pants. That Ronda's not gonna freeze to death out here in the frigid cold weather. And it is now -110. So see, it's gotten even colder for some unholy reason. I have no idea how that's managed to happen, but it is just getting colder and colder and colder and colder. toasty this place is not. This would have been, I think this run would have been a lot more fun if we had access to wood, but unfortunately the way it was designed, like we were just not going to get any amount of wood. Yeah, 2 volcanic ice for volcanic wood. Yeah, it's exactly, it's just a giant disaster. Yeah, to be fair, I guess it kind of makes sense, like, you know, in Frostpunk, in the main scenario that you start off with, I can't remember what it's called, a new home or something like that, you ultimately do have to survive like the really roughest winter, like towards the end, like the storm that lasts like 3 days, and it's like on like a lot of, if you don't play it right, a lot of your citizens will die. So I guess it makes sense that, okay, we're just trying to survive. We did ultimately lose 2 people this stream today, which we never did their funerals, by the way. I think it might be too late to do their funerals. Yeah, we kind of forgot to do the funerals, which is a little sad, but you know, it happens. It happens. By the way, we have beans. All right, so one thing to remember in the future, lentils is growable meat. Granted, that will not come up 90% of the time, I think, because usually in most colonies we are able to kill animals for meat. But if I am desperate for needing meat so I can make, you know, gourmet dishes, which actually would have been super handy if I had realized I could have been growing lentils. I could have been making lavish meals or lavish soups this whole time. But I'll remember that for next time. I will definitely try to remember that for next time. Same thing with the beans and the soybeans we could have done as well. By the way, look at this. Where's all of our beer? All the beer disappeared. It's probably somewhere here. So overall, I think we've done a pretty good job of surviving through the harshest of winters that Rimworld has tried to throw at us. Now granted, we kind of had a lot of overpowered nonsense at our disposal. Legitimately, this run would not have been possible if I didn't have this stupid thing just spitting out everything I could possibly need at any given time. Like all the steel we could need came from this beautiful plasma drill that I did not efficiently use. Like the correct way to use this is I should have built a, one, I should have put this somewhere else, and 2, you could put a conveyor belt to automatically filter out the items. Like this did not need to be out here, because I forgot that the plasma drill will never trigger infestations. The lower ranking drills will trigger infestations and all that stuff. Okay, so I gotta think about the next colony theme. I guess I'm kind of debating now between, do we use an anime race mod? Do we use a do we do a mecha themed colony? Do we do a maid themed colony? Actually, hold on. Is there a maid mod that's not eccentric? Because I know the eccentric stuff, it looks nice, but it's also future tech. But what's like the industrial era maid uniforms? Is there a mod for that? There's gotta be, right? Let me look it up. There's gotta be something. What is that? What? Hold on. What did I just find? What is this? Casually looking through the workshop, run into this thing. What is this? Silver Soul's Maidnoid? What is this thing? Is this robot maids? It is. Who makes this? This can't be balanced, right? 20 anime style mechanoids. Oh, they're literally just mechanoids. So if you just play with the author is Silver Soul. They're mechanoids. So you can have human. That's actually kind of cool looking. I've never seen this before. That's kind of neat. Yeah, but I was about to say, like, I'm pretty sure this is biotech. You need to do the stuff, and they all have like really overpowered abilities. I'm not looking for that though. I just want like the basic uniform. I just want the basic uniform. I don't know what the heck did. I just want a basic uniform. That's not the Nukos either. I guess we could do a maid themed colony. Oh my god, wait, I forgot. You have the Thrumbo maid mod. All right, well, let me mull over it over the week, and we'll come back to it. Maybe if we use hospitality, we could make a nice colony. I'd probably trim down the number of mechanoids we have to fight off until like late game, but I could definitely see it being an interesting experience. Maybe we start like, I don't want to say Victorian era, but there are choices that we could do. I don't want maid androids is the main thing. I would prefer if there was just like a normal maid outfit mod. That's not the eccentric, because the eccentric one's like super high tech, so we would get them later on. But for the industrial era, oh my gosh, Bashy the Great Wolf died of hypothermia. Bashy still died. I cannot let Bashy will never survive a single colony. Even Bashy as a Great Wolf died of hypothermia. Oh my god. By the power of being a streamer, I hereby order Bashy to come back to life. Live. Oh, they're only go up to -50. Yeah, no wonder they're freezing to death. I think I didn't zone Bashy properly. I thought I did. Oh, no, I did zone Bashy into the proper areas. I don't know why Bashy ran out there. That's super weird. Yeah, like Bashy's zoned correct. How did Bashy end up all the way there? That's super odd. Yeah, like I could have sworn I did this correctly. Like I wasn't crazy. The game was crazy. I'm not crazy. The game's crazy. I did it right. I did it the right way. Okay, so Bashy can walk between that. That's fine. I must have not been paying attention or something, but it was definitely odd. Also, I don't know how I feel about these anime faces. So I did, for this run, I did use a new anime face mod. You might have noticed that they all have different faces from what we normally do. I think they look a little bit nicer, but I have to see if it's something I want to keep using. Because again, you know, what is an oak colony without crazy amounts of anime mods to really accentuate the weebiness? At this point, I have no shame with this. I am perfectly okay with just adding a lot of anime mods for the nonsense. You missed the bus. Oh my gosh. Please stop missing your bus. That's not a good thing. Yeah, exactly. Even though they break most of the time. To be fair, I think this one didn't break. This one is just a perfectly fine face mod. It did its job. It did exactly what it's supposed to do, and I think that's okay. All right, let's see here. How much longer until Steve grows up? What time is it? Oh, we're getting close to end of stream anyways. Can I just force you to age up? There's no way to force you to age up, right? Progress life stage. All right, where are you, Steve? Congratulations. You grew up at the same time as Ranu, and you are now an adult. You get to like animals, and we're giving you nimble. Okay, and then I am going to immediately just give you you're gonna get a reconnaissance cloak. That's not made out of human leather. It's made out of blue fur. And then we'll give you a t-shirt so that you don't explode to death. Or pants is fine first. We have a lot of blue first. This is okay. And then I'll give you T-dash shirt. I don't know why this thing doesn't work properly. Change this to blue fur. Is there anything else you need, or is this all you need to function? Pants. Oh, your hat. Okay, your hat sucks. The toque should keep you warm. Is there anything else I can give you, or is this basically it? Negative 31 to 43. Oh, you don't have a parka. I was like, I knew I was missing something. You need a parka. Then find regular face or body mods. I mean, I don't think it's necessarily anything wrong with it. I think you just like the aesthetic of how stuff looks vanilla, and there's nothing wrong with that. I've seen a lot of people use the body mods, and I am not fond of those. I think Rimworld looks best with the more simplistic body style. I don't know what you want to call it, and like the nuggets, I guess. But I would not add, like, I've seen a lot of mods that add legs, and I'm just like, I feel like this is a little unnecessary. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I feel about it. I think the current design is fine. You forgot how bad the commutes are. All right. I think they look at your content and it's just like, oh, this is very weeb adjacent, so they must be using weeb content, right? All right, before we forget, let's quickly get Ranu a nose. I didn't make a nose. Okay, let's replace Ranu's ear. Middle and then the right thumb. And I forgot to make a toe. All right, let's just get Ranu this surgery real fast. Have Alana get over here real quick and do the surgery too. People need them feet. People want to see those feet. That's really all it is. People are degenerates. They want to see the funny toes. They were like, oh, feet, yes. And that's how the degeneracy continues to spread amongst the Rimworlders. Please don't clip that. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna save Ranu's pawn first and foremost. First of all, let's just fix your gear. Your gear is now fully repaired because you've earned the right to have at least properly repaired gear. Okay. All right. Shh, you're not supposed to say the quiet part out loud. All right, so you're fine. Let's get rid of the alcohol tolerance. Let's see. I will repair this. Let's add. So technically you would have had a new nose. Probably gave you a nice aesthetic nose. And then we probably would have given you, I think it was a toe, right? So bionic toe to replace, I think the left, I think it was probably like the left middle big toe. Let's say that, sure. So this is Ranu's pawn. And then I'm gonna save. I'm gonna call this Ranu, Frostpunk. Okay, and then we're gonna go save Steve. Just strip out the alcohol tolerance for now. And then, as long as you don't have anything that I'm not gonna be using in the future, should be fine. I think your ideology should probably just be generic, but it's probably okay. We'll make it work somehow. Save. Selected. I never paid you to, oh, you're right. Sorry. Where am I supposed to wire the buddy? There we go. Yeah, exposure. It's all about the exposure. It's all about getting that sick, gotta go viral and say 6, 7. Like that stupid video that's like, you know, that just like that video that was going around. I swear I can't get that stupid thing out of my head. I saw someone do an English version of it. It was like 20 plus 20 plus 20 plus 7. Teacher, that's so easy. It's 6, 7. And I'm just like, oh my god, please. I hate this so much. I'm going to go crazy. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, the Pope did the 6, 7 to a bunch of kids in the Vatican City. It was like the Vatican's first 6, 7, and I'm like, all right, we've truly hit the end of it all. All right, who's alive? All right, I think we did a pretty good job with this colony. I know it seems like we're ending a little earlier than I probably, well, I could have probably kept this colony going way longer if I wanted, but ultimately I think this is a good spot to end colony. Primarily because anything that comes at us tends to die without too much issue anymore. At this point, it's just waiting for more things to happen, and yeah, you can keep growing it indefinitely, but there's only so much you can do in a frozen tundra. And so that's kind of why I'm like, all right, I think the colony is done. There's not much else. It's just literally a waiting game for things to happen. We can pretend that everyone survived forever and nothing bad ever happened again, and everything was fine and dandy and all that awesome stuff. And that's my opinion with how far we've made it in the colony of Chaldea, surviving through the harshest forever winter of the past 4 in-game years as we made it to 8th of December 5503. We did a good job. And I'd like to thank all of you for joining me on this magical journey to keep the hope and flame of humanity alive throughout this insanity. I'm going to see if I can figure out what kind of colony we're going to do next week. I just haven't decided what theme we're going to do. And once I do, we'll do that. What else? On Discord, there is a Rimworld channel you can talk about, and if you want to post any mods that you might be interested in, let me know, because I do take a look at that if I can figure out where the button that says Discord is. And then there is I did put a small poll on the announcements thing if you want to see Forza Horizon 6. It's kind of like even right now, so it might be maybe we'll do it, maybe we won't type of deal. We'll see how I'm feeling. But I do like it. I'm probably going to be playing more Forza Horizon literally as soon as I'm done with stream. And I'm going to be on that thing for like the next 2 hours before I finally decide to go to bed. That game is so much fun. I'm so sorry. I love that game. I don't know. I'm a sucker for weeb stuff, and it's basically a Japanese JDM car adventure, so it basically appeals to me specifically. Anyways, we ready to follow last time. I guess we could raid this VTuber who's playing Rimworld. Sure, let's try that. All right, comrades, I hope you had fun. Thank you for joining me on Rimworld. We'll be back on tomorrow. I think tomorrow we're doing Xenonauts. Yeah, I think tomorrow's Xenonauts, and then Wednesday's the Forza Day, probably, and all that. But say goodbye to the colony of Chaldeus as a quick overview again. Here's our oh my gosh, the sauna's working. Holy cow, the sauna's actually on. You know what? That's kind of appropriate. The sauna being used at the final stage of the colony. We've also got a bunch of housing area. We've got our temple. We've got a beautiful hospital with radios and ways to keep ourselves entertained. A proper drug lab. 1, 2, 3, 4 hydroponics rooms. And a big old crafting room. And a big old research lab. The sauna is sitting at a cool 64 centigrade. 64 centigrade. Oh, also there's a giant, our temple room or our little funeral room. Did a pretty good job. Anyways, we're gonna go right into, I don't know who this is, but they're streaming Rimworld. Their name is Haru Zolux, so say hi. You can also use the other one and say hello, and I don't know. I'm probably gonna, like I said, I'm gonna go play Forza and all that jazz. Or maybe I'll play 14. Maybe if Ray drags me into 14, I'll play 14 for the rest of the night. Anyways, good night, everyone, and thank you for joining on the magical adventure of Chaldeus and the Human Restoration Society. Oh,